that means is that their fluorescents are better. If you use 10% of the energy of regular incandescent bulbs, that's pretty damn good. You're saving 90%, right? But he's saying you're only saving 50% with fluorescents. Right. So that, but he said when commercial didn't make that distinction.
Right.
But just out of curiosity,
I don't think it matters.
It's technically correct. You know, I understand that. But why do they give a shit? Why do they give a shit? That's what I want to know. What does that have to do with your private business?
Because for one thing,
they're not some authority that can force you to change it. I'm just saying.
No.
I understand that you want to be
But in
correct.
the same breath, we were mentioning Colorado Springs Utilities with front-range LED lighting,
saying they would pay for installation.
So if they're like grouped in together with us in this ad, they want the ad to be truthful.
Or you can't mention them, they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. They're saying if you want the privileges.
And also, one of the things that he said was, you know, if somebody calls me and asks me about this stuff, I'm going to tell them the truth, and they're going to think you're a liar. I mean, he didn't use those words, but that was kind of what he was saying.
I couldn't believe they fucking reached out to you, Joe. I think it's insane.
Twice. He called me back.
We've never had, like, Excel reach out to us on anything.
I mean, what I'm saying is they don't usually get in the face of private business, you know?
There's so much smaller community down there, though.
And he said that if the wording were changed significantly regarding anything that mentions Colorado Springs Utilities, we would have to send the ad to them and have them approve it before we can use their name.
Yeah, we changed it to, I just sent it to you. Why don't you listen?
And by the way, what we could have said, and most utility companies will pay 50% of the installation costs. We didn't have to mention them at all.
Pardon me?
Because Excel will do it too, yes.
I think I'm getting the actual girl on, but she only has till 10:30, and then she has to go to the hospital or to the doctors or something.
I love a product, though, that not only pays for itself, but then you start saving money.
There's
no other product like it.
There's no downside to what you do, man.
There's
Zero.
There's not.
So,
and as much as people, when you
we're up.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to put money in your pocket. If you're in business, you own a building, we're going to put money in your pocket. There's no way around it. You want to save some money, you just talk to us. It's a no-brainer, and you will save money. You know, we were just saying there's no downside. Zero downside. Why everyone isn't doing it, I don't know. And then we'll talk about any other problems, questions, and complaints you have. And we have a special plea from a mom and a wife who is dying. So listen, Joe Weisenbach, with front range LED lighting, puts in LED lights. They replace fluorescents or incandescents. If you replace incandescents, you can save like up to 90%. If you replace fluorescents, you can save half. Plus, many utility companies will pay half of the installation cost. Think about that.
It can pay for itself in what, 12, 16 months, and then you just start saving money.
Start saving big time.
I asked you this before.
Why do power companies pay installation?
It's their product. It still drives me crazy.
Why do they give solar credit?
That's right.
Okay, why? Because there is a point of return on investment that they reach, which they're at now, which is wonderful. They're making a great return on investment, meaning for the money they put in, the money they get out is a great return. Do you know what the return on investment is for an oil company? People think it's probably big time. I think it's only 4 or 5%. That's return on capital. That means every dollar you put into your business, you get a certain percent back. Like if you put $1 in, and for every dollar you put in, you will get 10 cents regularly. That is a what return? It's a 10% return. Now that's yearly. So if you put $1 in, if you can get a 10% return every year, that's pretty damn good. So, utility companies are right now almost at their peak. They are at their peak return on investment. They have to keep their facilities going. If people use substantially more electrical energy, They will have to now do a new capital call, a new capital investment for new plants. And their return on investment will go way down. Why? Because you have a very weird situation happening. They would have to build a plant, but they don't have that many new customers to build a plant. If their demand doubled, it would be worth it. But it's not doubling. It's just over the edge. And if they can keep you from using that electricity just over the edge, then they won't have to put in all that money. Because they look to the future and think, if we build a plant, we are not going to get twice the customers in the future or twice the usage. If anything, our usage will stay the same or go down because things and technology are getting better. So they're at a very weird situation. Now, it used to be an electrical company would not care about investing in a new plant because new people build new homes and new people do new things that have new power demands. But power demands are not going up like they used to. The curve for power consumption is not spiking, it's leveling off. And every once in a while it gets a little blip, depending on the season. So that's why they're very happy to pay you not to use electricity.
It's just amazing they pay up to half of the installation. It's so weird. Once again, there's no downside.
They did the calculations, and they figured if we had to pay 50% of everyone in our area, it would be X amount of dollars. They would still be using electricity. They'd be using less. We don't have to build a new plant. If we have to build a new plant, we have to pay 10X. And our return would be less. So it's all a numbers game. 303-713-TALK is our number. We have Front Range LED lighting with us. If you have any questions about converting to LED, give us a call. Now, you can convert interior lighting, exterior lighting, industrial lighting, even residential lighting, although I don't think you do residence, do you, Joe? You can turn your mic on when you talk there, just that blue button.
Just residential, or just commercial.
Yeah. I mean, residential people can do themselves.
Right.
I mean, because you don't even have to change fixtures. You just get the bulbs, right? They make LED bulbs for the cans, right?
Sure.
And
our entire house is.
Now, in this studio, we bought LED fluorescents. They're not fluorescents. They're LED tubes. So when you go in to convert, do you have to convert fixtures? You don't have to convert fixtures, do you?
What we do is we rewire the fixtures so that it'll take the lamp without the ballast. So the great thing about that is...
So what are we doing here when we put in just the LED tubes?
You're still using the ballast.
Oh!
So the ballast...
So the energy savings isn't there, right?
It isn't as much.
Not as much.
Okay.
It's still some.
Yeah, so the ballast is still drawing energy. Plus, it's going to fail. So the ballast will fail.
So and a ballast is what? What does a ballast do for those who have buildings?
It changes the voltage and the current, so to accommodate fluorescent lamps. So a lot of these LED tubes...
They're mainly for startup, right? The ballast is mainly for startup.
No, it runs on the ballast.
It does.
Yeah,
it runs constantly on the ballast.
Right, right. So the fluorescent tubes have a gas in them, and they have an electrode at each end, and they need to be able to get that gas to glow or to be energized, and the coating on the inside of the fluorescent lamp then glows.
Okay, it regulates the current to the lamps and provides sufficient voltage to start the lamps without a ballast. To limit current, a fluorescent lamp connected directly to high voltage would rapidly and uncontrollably increase its current draw. I don't even know what that means. So it starts it and then keeps it from taking too much current. I didn't know that. I don't understand that technology as well. So in any case, you rewire them, and now they take LEDs. And how long do they last?
They're rated for 50,000 hours.
So you're not only saving on energy, you're saving on replacement.
Exactly.
So that's even more. So wait a minute. When we talk about savings, we're not even talking about replacing bulbs. We're talking about the savings of the usage.
And the ballasts, and replacing the bulbs.
So really, the savings can be way extraordinary.
Yeah, and especially if you have a commercial property with parking lot lights, and they're drawing 400 watts or maybe 1,000 watts each or more, and you have to have them replaced. You have to get a guy to come out with a bucket truck and replace these things when they fail. So you're not only paying for the replacement of the lamp, you're paying for the bucket truck and
the whole thing is a savings. And by the way, the ballast, now I understand it. The ballast provides a burst of high energy to start the bulb, and then keeps it low for the energy to run, for the bulb to run, because unlike any other bulb, it requires a lot of energy to get going, but hardly any energy to keep it going. So it's a very weird kind of thing, and it constantly is regulating the current. So ballasts are very important, and people don't consider the cost of bulbs and ballast compared to LEDs. 50,000 hours. Wow.
Yeah, we have one commercial customer that has 5 or 6 buildings, and we replaced all the external lights on his buildings, and he has been so happy because he doesn't get complaints from his tenants about the parking lot being dark, and he doesn't have to pay an electrician to come out.
Do you know how many years that is of 8 hours a day? I just figured 17 years. 8 hours a day. So if you go 16 hours a day, it's half that. 9 hours, not 8.5 years. I mean, think about that.
And in your house, if you're using it 3 or 4 hours a day, which is typical,
you're going to last 20 years.
Yeah.
To me, I keep going back, though. The fact that the energy companies pay for up to half of it is the part that's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Christy, what is on your mind?
I have to tell you a short story so that I can let it go.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
About a year ago, I started getting bids on a house painting job, and I was doing all my homework and checking references, and I ended up with 5 bids between $5,000 and $7,500.
And I hope you went to the referral list, but maybe you didn't. But anyway, keep going, Christy. That's why I'm here to educate. So what happened? You got 5 bids?
I did get 2 bids from the referral list, and the other 3 were not from there.
Okay, tell me what happened. That's smart.
So I picked someone in the middle because I wasn't trying to lowball anything, but the 2 from the referral list were the highest 2 bids. And I thought, $1,000 on a $6,000 job, that's a big difference. And I liked the contract with the contractor I went with. It was, I didn't have to pay anything up front. The references checked out. The contract was detailed. I felt safe with going with them. But I was not happy with the job. It started out okay, but apparently they thought the power wash was enough prep, and they didn't scrape anything. And we weren't there the day they did the painting. So that tells me
it wasn't Steve the painter at Star Quality Painting, because he's a perfectionist, anal perfectionist to a point where he's almost compulsive. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is it would have been worth $1,000 to get someone to be perfectionist and to just be comfortable.
So you got to let it go. But are you at least satisfied with the job now? Did they make it better or not?
Well, they had already completed the job before we got to look at it, and we made a punch list, and they did some of the things on there.
Okay. But you're still not satisfied.
Well, they didn't come back and scrape, and when we told them about scraping, they came out with like a putty knife. I'm like, no, a scraper. Because he started peeling paint off of the house. Well, we can't do this. Well, I'm like, yeah, I know. You can peel the whole house if you use a putty knife, but if you have a scraping tool, and he didn't even know what I was talking about. What painter doesn't know what a scraper is?
that one.
Anyway.
But, a lot of them do it with a putty knife. I mean, they literally take off old big chunks of paint with it. What you wanted him to properly prep the house. That's the bottom line, and you don't think he did. Does the finished job show that he did not prep it properly?
Well, 5 months later, it's starting to bubble in places, and And I guess
I would make the guy come back. I hope you do, or call us.
I have a contract, and so I guess I could, but my husband's like doesn't even want them on our property.
Now, I just want to clarify. The one that you finally went with was not on the referral list, or was?
Was not.
Okay. I'm not going to say good. I meant, okay, I don't have to go to a big fight, but because I would. And seriously, I'm glad you got it off your chest. Now, one other thing, because we have, I have to take a break, and then we're going to go to this very important call on a serious disease with a liver, and I want to talk about liver donors. And Christy, I want to ask, do you want to give the name of the company that you're unhappy with? I think if you do a review on air, you do reviews online, it helps people.
I will. It was CertaPro Painters in Castle Rock, and
CertaPro.
They own Castle Rock and Colorado Springs. Kevin Henderson, I think, is his last name.
Okay, you're unhappy with CertaPro Painters in Colorado Springs and in Castle Rock, same owner. Thank you very much. Now, we have a lot more to talk about. Coming up, we'll talk about a mom, a wife, a daughter. She's facing a challenge for her very life is being challenged right now, and it's something that we have to address. We want to help, and we're going to tell you how you can help. No one's looking for money. That's the first thing I want to say. No one is looking for money. 303-713-TALK. Genesis Total Exteriors, by the way, they do painting as well. Painting, fences, decks. They do interior and exterior, and they have solar windows that pay for themselves over time, even if you don't have a solar system. That's right. They go into the grid and give you credit every year. 303-679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Your mic is on. See if your mic's on. Turn that mic off at the time.
Start off with the good news.
Turn it off when we're not talking.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I don't want to pick up any
I-25 north of I-70 has been cleared. Still residual backups, and that crash in the backups northbound I-25. The Colfax is still working to clear that. So backups all the way to Santa Fe on northbound I-25. Also westbound I-270.
So I do replace the bulb with the ballast.
For more real-time traffic updates
in a ballast fixture, just the bulb.
When do you replace ballast? When do you know to replace ballast?
You go out.
How do you know it's not the bulb?
Guys, a low 45.
A lot of times the bulb is dark on the end. That's when the bulbs, the fluorescent bulbs are dark on the end. That's when I know they go out. It could be either. It can be either.
So how do you know? That's the thing.
Sometimes you don't. It's not worth replacing most light fixtures with ballast. It's just better to get a new light. The ballasts are super expensive, what I've seen.
No. You're talking about those little brown things.
No. I'm not talking about.
No, that's the old technology.
That's a capacitor.
Oh, you don't do those?
So the old ones had just a transformer and a capacitor, but the newer ones have electronic valves, and they are much more efficient. They don't need the starter is built into them.
And how long do they last? Well, if it's someone else,
they should last from 3 to 10 years. But you don't know. And it does use some energy. They use 10 or 15 watts. And if you're putting in like these, probably have 3 lamps in them, 4 lamps in them, so it uses 15 watts. And if you put in LEDs, they're probably 15 to 20 watts each, plus the 15 watts for the ballast. So you're looking at another 20% in the power.
All the areas of law
roughly.
303-597-4500, 597-4500 on my referral list at referrallist.com.
It's picking up. No, I'm not saying busy, but I'm getting more opportunities to quote.
Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group.
So these guys, what you should do is rewire the ballast so it's all
directly
to the LED.
Many highly rated term like
it's all just wired direct current to the LEDs.
And takes medication to control his cholesterol.
Are all LEDs
$100,000 policy for $27
No.
That's almost twice the coverage for less
But
than half of
I've quoted my
If Select Quote hasn't shot
first
life
job
insurance, you're probably
where the guy wanted dimmable tubes.
Free quote, call
the other day.
800-467-1443.
Most people just want replace
And
that's an extra expense.
1443.
They're a little bit more expensive.
800-467-1443. Or go to selectquote.com.
That's good for fluorescence out of.
Shop, you save.
Yeah, there's no reason to buy old style stuff anymore. 100% agree.
Now that, if there are people looking through that they can downgrade their wiring in a new house, if they go all LED and stuff, or they put more lights on the same circuit.
Yeah, we do that. So a lot of times people will want more lighting in the place, and we can easily just add on to the existing circuit, because what we're using now is less than half of what we're using before.
In the threes.
But that dude's gone, that fucking guy.
Like adding 1.5% to your current rate without
What, Mark? Just that guy is.
720-895-0500. Call now and find out how to pay off your home faster.
Problem is, I think he listens online, so I gotta watch.
You get to keep all
Good morning, Mark.
Okay, she had to get to her doctor's appointment, and I don't think she was really ready to
We've been serving Colorado since 2001. It's all about
talk about it.
Where's that logo you designed for, oh, I have it on the hard drive. All right, I need that. They lost it.
Well, I can't find it now.
No, I know
I'll do it
that.
later. I got it right on my back issues.
for 25 years.
Wait, I have it on OneDrive.
On getting relief of my pain.
It's on OneDrive, so I can get it.
Old LED bulbs.
You want to know what email you? Now, what form do they want?
Well, they're gonna end up, he's got a big box sign on a pole.
Yeah, we have
Huge, really nice sign, actually. So we're gonna replace those panels, so it's gonna be whatever the sign company wants.
I'm going to give you one, and then
They're doing the real
They're going to
deal.
ultimately ask for
Oh, no,
something else,
LED,
but I'll
I'm
give
sorry,
you
LEDs
one,
don't
just
have,
so they can see
there's no hazardous
Yes.
material.
Gotcha, that's what I was
So
asking.
it's electronics.
So that's another thing, So, but they do want them to pay for the disposal LEDs too?
No, for full, yeah, I misunderstood.
Okay.
What do you do with all the old lights? Just trash them?
No, we have to pay for disposal. So we charge the customer for a disposal fee.
Holy, you can't just throw them in the dumpster?
For us?
Well, you can, but it's not good.
Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to Liberal. I want to remind you we're talking about
Replacing fluorescence and incandescence with LEDs. We'll talk more about that. Tremendous savings, no downside, zero downside. Utility companies pay for half the installation. You can save up to 90% of the energy. Let's talk, though, now about something that I want you to find on our Facebook. You can find it at Troubleshooter.com. I don't have a link to it at Troubleshooter.com, so where can they find it? On Facebook, basically? Will it be on our Facebook feed?
Yeah, it's not out yet. It'll be very shortly, though.
But I want to explain this to you. We got a call from someone and said, we need some help. This mom, this mother, this daughter, this wonderful person, her family, they're lovely people. They have good insurance. They're looking for a liver donor. It's really that easy. Now, here's the terrible thing about this. As soon as I heard someone was looking for a liver donor, you know what I said?
Alcoholic.
Oh, yeah, I think, well, and you know what? I think, oh, well, they must, had a life of abuse or this or that. Not that I believe people deserve a life sentence. Anyway, I'm not judging, but it's terrible that I even thought that. It's terrible. But in this particular case, this woman could not have kept better care of herself. Eating right, working out, wearing seatbelts. I mean, this woman and her children, this is like the kind of family you want to put on your Christmas card. Okay? This is the kind of family you see in picture frames at Kmart. You see, when you buy the picture, when you buy the frame, you see this family. And she, Melinda Ray, is having the challenge of her life. Mac, are you a friend?
Yeah, I'm already a puddle.
You're a friend.
Yeah.
And you are helping. So many people are helping. And the first thing we talk about, oh, does she have a GoFundMe site? Well, we don't need money.
No, we don't. She just asked, she's
Yeah.
asking for an angel, and an angel to give up part of their liver.
How does that work?
Oh, the liver is so great, Tom. They go in and they'll take maybe 45% of the donor's liver, and that liver they will take her entire liver out and put that 45% or 40% in her, and it will grow, and it will no longer have these cysts that are the size of silver dollars. The donor's liver will grow back to its normal size in like 2 months.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you donate 45% of your liver, it grows back?
In about 2 months, if you go on to the UC Health, University of Colorado Health donor page, it talks about that. Mayo Clinic, the Ochsner Clinic, Columbia, they all say the same thing. The research is the same thing. It will grow back, and some people will definitely be out of work for anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, depending on what kind of job you have. If you have an office job,
and by the way, they're going to pay all expenses and all the impact. They're not, obviously, we don't buy and sell organs in this country, but they're going to pay all the economic impact and anything that's legally allowed. So Mac, why is she having such trouble? Like for example, you and all your friends. I mean, I know how much you love Melinda.
Yeah.
Tell me the problem.
Well, let me read just a little bit of her letter. My liver function is good, but the rest of my body is strangled due to the size of my growing liver. It is continuing to grow as cysts expand in size, and this makes things very difficult. My lung has collapsed, and both are closing up. My heart is literally lying on my liver and being pushed up into my sternum. My intestines and stomach are crammed into my pelvis, and there's not much room for growth, as all those organs are about as small as they can get. But the real worry is how long until they stop working, how long until things start shutting down.
So why is she having a tough time again, I'm asking? I'm sure all of her friends have checked.
Well,
what is it, a rare blood type? What's going on?
No, it's the criteria for doing this is the transplant team. This may sound strange. They're very concerned with the donor because the donor is healthy. But the donors have to be healthy. It's psychologically healthy, physically healthy, and so they've gone through, from what I understand,
15 people.
Well, it's now 30.
Okay.
And they have been, either they fell out or they just weren't the right match because of something. You've got to have a healthy liver to start with. You've got to be a healthy person. And so
I'm asking people to go on and share our referral list. I mean, our Facebook post on our Facebook, which is referral list. When you see it, we put a lot of time into this because we did a landing page that tells all about it, and then there's a link to the donor page where they can fill out information. And we just have to get a bunch of people to see this. I want to read something. She says, I have a son who will graduate in less than 2 years, and have been through much. We've been through so much together. My little ones are in elementary, and I need to make their lunches and push them on swings and clean up their cuts when they fall. My husband is my best friend. We've been through the trenches together, and they both have lost their moms. Here's the deal. She needs a liver, and it's just an amazing thing. Now, I know all of us here are filling out the form, and we all want to be considered. I just don't understand why. It seems to me like she would have no problem getting people to do this. I think I'm too old. Wait, what are the ages?
You can't really be over 55.
That is not me for sure, then.
You can't have had surgery. My understanding is, please don't totally listen to what I'm saying, but this is what I
we have it on our page.
There's it's a form that you go to UC on your page, UC Health Living Donor Org, and you fill the thing out. But you have to be healthy. You can't have had surgery in a year. You can't have given birth in a year. Which means, hey guys, line up, okay?
Yeah.
You're okay with that. So there is some criteria, and again, they really want to make sure that the donor is very, very healthy.
How's Melinda doing now? Where is she now? Is she
on her way to the doctor?
But is she in hospice care, I heard, or is it palliative care? What is it?
It's called palliative care, and all they can do is make her comfortable.
So technically she has a terminal illness. She is on.
If she doesn't get this, she will die. There's nothing. I mean, a liver, it is a disease that is terminal also, but they can keep you going a little bit longer on machines. With this, there is nothing. She either gets a liver or she gets nothing. And my wife and I have also volunteered that if someone who is going to volunteer to give part of their liver as a donor, and let's say they come from out of state, we are more than happy during their recovery to have them in our home.
Yeah, that's very nice of you. She says, I don't even like asking a neighbor for a cup of sugar, and I don't like asking for anything, but I need your help. I wake up every morning to the reality that this is not a bad dream. She says during the night she goes in and touches her kids 20 times and kisses them and talks to them. She is really distressed over this, obviously.
And the other thing too,
and she's always talking about others. It has not. She never talks about her and what she wants to do. She's talking about she has to be around for her kids and her husband.
The doctors also told her that because of the size of her liver, and it's getting bigger, that she is primed for an aortic and brain aneurysm. God. So we can compound that on top of everything else, but her organs can most likely start to shut down because the liver keeps growing. It's not to a point where, okay, we've stopped now, we can all sit back and wait for somebody to come through in 2 years. No, it's much more urgent than that.
She says, I promise to be healthy, to take good care of the liver, to be a success in my life. She doesn't want people to feel sorry for her, but she wants to touch someone. So, Mark, is that up on Facebook? Because I can.
It is now.
Okay. I want them to go to our Facebook page, referralist.com, and pass it around. I'm also going to put it out. We need to put it out on Instagram and all the others. Listen, Mac, we brag on this show, the Troubleshooter, millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services, and I want to say, and a liver. I want to add that to my list. So I have a challenge here. I can say millions of dollars cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and we also got a liver. So we'd be the first. This would be the first for us. We have helped people before with pleas and GoFundMe, and this is for a direct donor we're looking for.
Absolutely. And
okay.
She's a Coloradan. She went to Littleton High School. She's my youngest daughter's best friend. Known her for about 16 years. Great young woman, cute family.
Of course. I said it's the family you see in the picture frame.
Yep.
Okay. So, Mac, thank you. Keep us up to date. We're going to be pushing this. Tell people if they need to learn anything, in addition to your sites, the referral list page. It is the Facebook page. If you see that, you can make a link directly to the UC Health donor page. I'm Tom Martino.
Looking for auto repairs? Let's talk about Sheridan Auto. And Kevin Hoffman
could be the guy.
I'm too old. I'm pretty old.
You're an old.
I would really, you know what? I would really consider it. I'm too old.
Do you have to have the same blood type?
Yeah, or negative. Or you are, then you're old.
Two locations, Lakewood,
I mean, but I'd be scared.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking major surgery.
Any operation.
Well, the recovery time, that's a long time, 6 weeks.
3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I could do my radio.
And that's if everything goes right.
I'm pretty damn healthy. I can do my radio show.
They wouldn't take you if you wanted to.
Not now, they won't. I wonder why though. They checked me out and I checked out. Why wouldn't they?
I agree.
It's probably,
I don't even know what my blood.
well, like you say, I mean, you're basically tricking your body right now.
You have less chance of throwing it back so quickly.
Probably.
Coloradan 62 and older, are you not feeling as financially secure as you'd like to?
Is it on Facebook? You see it?
Are you retiring or experiencing a life change? And do you own your own home?
I like how you put 2 buttons in
mortgage
too.
from American Financing. Reverse mortgages are
I'm
loans
learning.
that pay you monthly by using the equity in your home.
I'm learning.
They also protect your spouse from possibly losing your
She's
home if you pass
absolutely
away.
beautiful.
And
Not that that matters. I mean, people always say things like that. I mean, it's not like ugly people deserve to die, right? I mean, I kind of hate when people say that. I really do, but I need to get.
But now have access to your equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American.
I got a good feeling about this one. I think we're going to find something.
God, I
Financial
hope.
comfort and security. Their
I
mortgage
tell you, it's a hell of a thing to ask for.
so conversations are simple,
It's
straightforward.
really, you got it, it's got to be that right person, man.
It's not as bad as a kidney.
That's 303-698.
Suzanne's brother has one
or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
But it's like I said, you're right, it's major surgery.
Roof damage from storms, call
It's still under review like crazy. I don't know why.
Tom Martino. Excel Roofing is the most trusted roofer in Denver. I've been recommending them for 20 years, and they've done 3 roofs for me. Call 303.
Mark, how do I push this out to Instagram?
It doesn't.
It will? It'll go to Instagram too? You pay for that too?
If it's working there, it'll send it out there, and if it's working there, it'll stay there.
Who sends it out? Facebook does? Are they all part of Instagram?
They own it.
Mine too just donated a kidney a month ago. He says if it'd be helpful, I can come on and talk about, you know, the rewarding side of it.
I have 3 kidneys. I told you that, but I can't. But I probably can't donate because of my age, no matter what. I mean, if somebody needed a kidney, but I'm too old, I guess.
Do they all work?
Time of year, it could snow any day.
Jeez.
You have 3 kidneys?
He's got an extra kidney. That's wild.
Wow.
For a free roof inspection on
Is it more common than we think?
Roofing at 303-942.
Yes, more common, but not common. More, I mean, it's not so rare that it's shocking. When the doctor saw it, the only problem was this fucking idiot that did it. I thought I had cancer because he said there's a huge mass.
I see.
In my abdomen next to my kidney.
So it scared the shit out of you.
Well, they said we need to send you to an oncologist for biopsy, and I said, no, we're doing this tonight. I said I can't go home and work the weekend, and I said call them in, and I said it'll be self-pay. Honest to God, they called in an oncologist and a radiologist, interventional radiologist, and they did it right that night, and they found what? Another kidney.
So it's in your stomach area, not?
It's right next to my other kidney, but it looks a lot like cancer. Do you know what I'm saying? Kidney cancer.
How long ago was that?
No place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Chris
10 years ago.
Founder of Felix Sleep.
Suzanne had a friend growing up.
It's when I had a ton of money and I could do that. Hey, you get that doctor in here now.
It was weird. She had 3. Suzanne knew a girl that had 3 breasts.
If it's not the best
Oh
thing
my
you've ever had, we'll pick it up.
Were they all
money back? Go to
Or was it 3 nipples?
Well, I have a friend who had 4 nipples.
Did that person you knew, she wasn't really your friend, you didn't like her, but did she have 3 breasts or 3 nipples?
My first visit to Willow Creek Dental, they created a standard of dental care called the Willow Creek.
We're just asking.
Well, they say martinis are like...
What was it?
Customer service with incredibly high quality dental care. Words really can't describe my experience at Willow Creek Dental. You really have to see for yourself.
That would be embarrassing as hell as a girl, like, you know.
They say martinis are like boobs.
Visit
3's too many.
My dentist, Willow Creek Dental, your dentist.
Today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station.
I bet you Tom can tell you where you got that shirt.
Oh, stop.
Seriously, he has the same one?
It's weird.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Speaking of donating organs, Scott, you donated a kidney?
Yeah, that's correct.
How old are you, Scott?
I'm 50.
And what were the conditions? What happened?
My son had a really special teacher. He's one of those teachers that reaches kids that are struggling a bit and gives them the confidence they need. And he was on dialysis, and it wasn't working out very well. And he
was this recent?
Had a limited amount of time.
Was this recent? Was this recent?
Yeah, it was on September 11th of this year.
I know the teacher. I know the teacher.
You know Andy?
I think I do. Do you know his wife?
He has a
girlfriend, right?
Yeah, Amy. That's correct.
And because do you know what she does for a living?
I don't.
Okay, she did it to me. So I don't want to tell where she works and all that, but yeah, we were talking about it, and he so many people love this man. He is such a special man, and I heard about you. In fact, I thought my wife called you about doing a story, but I think you don't remember. You don't remember getting a call.
I did. Yes, a couple news stories.
Right.
Or, TV news outlets did a story.
But somebody wanted to do one for because I don't want to give private. I don't want it's kind of private. But man, what you did is a great thing, and he's doing well now.
He is.
That's major surgery for you. Talk about being a donor. It's major surgery. What brings somebody to want to do that? Well, you knew him. So what about when you don't know someone? I'm wondering how that goes, you know?
You know what? I've never really met Andy. I just knew that he was a really good guy, and I verified it with a lot of people, and everything was consistent, and I decided it was the right thing to do because I can really make a difference. I don't have that talent he has with kids who are struggling, and, I was one of those kids, so I get it. And to be able to keep him helping kids for a few years, it just seemed like it absolutely made sense.
What does he teach? Does he teach English?
He teaches history.
History, okay.
And he also teaches English, too.
Yeah.
He has a homeroom and English class and history class.
Right. Oh, what a coincidence that we were talking about this just the last time I was in to see her.
So it was only a month ago, and I'm already feeling, 80% of normal and started exercising yesterday. And, man, if there's somebody who deserves an organ and you can help them take care of their family, I would absolutely encourage it.
Listen to this, and with this liver, it grows back. Did you know your liver grows back in 2 months?
I didn't know it was that fast. That's insane.
I'm wondering why people with cirrhosis, if you cut out the cirrhosis and stop drinking, would it grow back healthy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well,
no, I don't think so.
Well, anyway, Scott, thank you for what you did, and it's wonderful. It really is. And I'm glad Andy is doing well. All right, I got to keep going. I want to go to Eric. I'm going to make these calls fast. I'll get through to you. And remember, then we have some questions coming in on email for front range lighting, LED. So go ahead, Eric. What's happening? I want to make sure it's actually front range LED lighting. I want to make sure. Okay, Eric, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. What's happening with you?
Well, this morning I got a really strange call from a company called Service Card Services, and it was
they want to lower your rate, right? And they said the government the government is allowing them to do this special program.
Exactly, and so it was funny because I was starting to be a little inquisitive and asking a few questions, and then the lady hung up on me. So I just wanted to throw that out there that sounds like a complete total scam on that, and I just wanted to kind of let people know about
absolutely.
that if they haven't got it.
And I appreciate it. Every little bit of consumer information helps. And so, did you happen to capture a number it came from, or it doesn't matter, does it anymore? Tell me what it was, just for the heck of it. We'll see if we can get through to it.
The phone number is 720.
Let's just see if we can get through to it. Yeah.
471. 8882.
Okay. So, Suzanne, see what you get when you call that number and ask them what they do. Thank you, Eric. Okay, Dan, your turn. What's happening, Dan?
I sent you my stuff on my tax return that I have not received.
So you haven't received a refund?
Correct.
Is that it in a nutshell?
Well, the IRS claims that they have deposited in a bank, Red Dot Bank or Green Dot Bank.
What? How did they deposit it? I mean, did you give them deposit information?
I believe we file our taxes with TurboTax electronically, and I believe when you file electronically with TurboTax, you automatically agree to use Green Dot Bank as an intermediary.
Really? And they give you an account there?
No, it's their account. I sent the paperwork through to your producer.
Suzanne, do you have Dan, do you have the paperwork for this IRS thing? If they claim they deposited it there, what does the bank say?
I can't get through to them.
Okay, well, we'll cut through that. What does the IRS say to you? They say they're done, right? They already refunded it?
Yes.
Did you contact anyone, and I don't even know if you can, I'm just asking, at TurboTax?
You can't.
I know. It's like trying to get somebody from eBay, right? It's one of those crazy, you can't get them, right?
But they give us a number that's constantly busy any hour of the day.
Suzanne sent this email. I'm going to look at it, and then we're going to try to get through to somebody for you. Hold on a second. I'd also like to call Larson Tax Relief, Suzanne. I know they don't chase refunds, but they have a lot of information and knowledge about the IRS. Did you know the light on your phone is on, Suzanne? You're shining it in my eye when you hold up your phone.
I'll have to fix that, Tom. Sorry.
I don't care. It's just that it was weird that your light's on. Debbie, I'm going to is this start here.
Hi.
Debbie, what's going on?
Yes. Hi. Hey, can you research, there's a company in Parker called Auto Sales and Service. Now, they do service work, but they sell vehicles. The only thing that...
Where are they located? I want to know. Where are they located? On Dransfeld, okay.
Yeah. Okay, nice girl. Her name's Diane. The only thing is they don't offer any warranty on their vehicle.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't. I think I know what you mean. Is it the one with the, it's kind of rustic looking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's kind of new looking. It's very nice looking.
And very nice inside. Very nice.
Well, you know, for example, Rockies doesn't, I mean, they provide a warranty if you want to buy one, but they don't just automatically have a warranty.
Okay.
No, I mean, most places don't on used cars, just to let you know.
Okay.
I mean, it's not uncommon, but you know, and it's all right to shop. I'd ask you to do me a favor, seriously, if you are shopping, just try out Rockies. You should try out Purifoy, depending on what you want. He's got a lot of used cars, but I'm saying that used car warranties are not automatically given. That's not something you're going to find. But be really careful, and I want to tell you something else. Whenever you buy a car, and this is something everyone overlooks, everyone, if you do not have maintenance records that show for positively the timing belt has been replaced, most cars have, if they have a belt, it needs to be changed anywhere from $60,000, depending on the manufacturer, to $95,000. Now, the most you'll ever go is $95,000, and I think that's some Toyotas. Some of them have to be done, some cars have to be done at $60,000. And here's what I want to tell you. If you have a timing belt and you do not do that, and it breaks, it can ruin your engine. And I've had people with perfect cars other than they never got the timing belt done. So here's what I'm saying. You need to add mentally in your head another $800 to any car that has 60,000 miles or more, unless you can absolutely be sure the timing belt has been done. I know that is something that's so odd no one thinks about. And then, of course, check out Rockies. I mean, I really mean that. They have so many used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, and they're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. And they also have a variety of lenders to choose from. But they don't mind if you shop around. But compare apples with apples. They brag about having the best deals because they're volume buying. They buy every car. They don't even have loans on those cars, which is called a floor plan. They own those cars, so they can sell them for what they want when they want. And then they have the 40 lenders to choose from and no pressure. 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
I like when I can do that.
The good news, earlier branches downtown on I-25 have been cleared. The bad news is still back up. Southbound I-25 slow, south of the I-70 interchange, traveling down towards Colfax, northbound slow in that typical spot between Alameda and Sixth Avenue.
There's a roofing contractor on my roof right now. He says my roof's total.
Jeez, were you hail lately?
Yeah, not lately.
In the spring.
Yeah.
Well, is it from a storm?
Not a recent one, but it's within the last year.
Well, I mean, can you put in a claim, or will your company say no? You can't just put in a claim any time.
Well, they said that they would.
Okay. Who said
with State Farm.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Why are you with State Farm? That is like the worst company you can have.
Is that right?
How long have you had them?
Years.
Yeah, okay. Let's make a lunch bet that in one phone call, I'm going to save you a lot of money. All you do is call them. They're our friends of Compass Insurance. You tell them what you have, what policy, how much you're paying. They'll shop it with 25 companies. You should never have a company more than 3 years, ever. Because you automatically get now, there have been about, what, 2% of the people that have stayed with the top 5, about 15% of the people they can't help, about 15%, but only 2% stay with State Farm, Farmers, American Family, All States, and Fred Loyal. Only 2%.
Actually, I had Farmers before this, and I switched to State Farm.
But how long ago?
Like 3 years ago.
Well, then you might be paying a good rate. You might be good down a bit.
But I'm selling the house, so.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to
Don't worry
cost
about
me.
it. But I got to tell you something, man. I just wish people, insurance checkups, save, it's something that can save people money immediately. The current is, oh, I want to see what they're doing. We want to honor our plan. Oh, you know what? They're making it mandatory. So the NFL is feeling the pressure.
Oh, big time.
They should have done that last year. It's crazy, but they didn't.
Fine. Demanding.
Or what? They don't play.
I don't know, man.
They don't
I'll
play.
tell you what. Now we'll see.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you. What do you think they're going to do?
They want to give up their.
They're going to get
$1 million
fined.
Contract. You know what? They felt it. They felt it with ratings. I'm telling you, consumers have power. If they would just flex their muscles.
It was so stupid of them not to stand though. I mean, it just made
I think
no
they,
sense.
I think that's the right thing to do. It's those guys.
It's not the place.
Roger Goodell, though,
I know he could
should have done it last year, right? Nipped it in the bud and stuff. He's terrible. He's the worst commissioner they've ever had. The worst.
What do you think he makes?
Oh, I'll bet you he makes a lot. It's in the millions.
Well, of course.
Probably 5 million.
How do I do an article? Just underwrite something, and then it's like an article, right, Mark?
Where?
On the Facebook. I usually what I usually do is do it on Troubleshooter and syndicate it to Facebook. But you told me to do some stuff to Facebook.
You hit where yet?
Just write. It's under the write something, right?
No. Well, I don't know. I mean, it might be. It's so weird. It's like a million ways to do everything.
So here's the referral list.
I go to
write something right there.
No, I go up top. Publishing tools. And then what do you want to do? A video? Do you want to do
an article?
Just an article?
Yeah. It's a post, right?
Yeah, it's just a post.
Okay. So
scheduled post, drafts. You can go in and create a draft and then post
create.
It. Yeah. And now it should ask you if you want
okay,
it.
It was that tool. It was that tool. Okay.
You always want to have a picture, though, man. If you don't have a picture, people don't see it. It's lost. You got to have a picture.
You've got to have the picture.
Yeah, he'll bet you lunch and he can tell you where you got that shirt. Simple as that, Joe. So you just say, you just.
No, I want you to do the one where you can tell him where he's got his shoes.
Well, Dan's the one that can do the shoes. I never could do the shoes. How you do that is insane. We've got, people have no idea.
Learn more by listening to my interview with Doug Wednesday morning.
You think of Deputy Dan.
6:30.
The last thing you would think of is, here's a guy that can look at your shoes and tell you where you got them.
Loosen up on.
It is incredible.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. I'm here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life just a little easier. All you have to do is call me. And you know, I want to be able to say we recover millions of dollars for people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And seriously, if you add it up over the years, it's more than $100 million. Easily. Now, I want to add to that, and a liver. Okay? Hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services, and a liver. Now, Melinda Ray is a woman, a wife, a mom, a daughter. She is in need of a liver, some rare liver disease. And she's looking for a liver. I want you to look at the details. This is so extraordinary. They don't need money. They just want help. They have insurance. Insurance will pay expenses, and then they will pay your impact, your economic impact. That doesn't mean like buying and selling a liver. They're not doing anything so that silly. They're just going to pay whatever the impact is, whatever they can legally do. And go to Facebook, look for referral list, our Facebook, and then you'll see the post. And if you can help, please fill out that form. I mean, I don't know why, but certain things just, every once in a while, they come into our office and they move us and they touch us. Suzanne could not stop talking about this. She says, Tom, we have to do something. We have to do something. So we're posting it. We're talking about it. We interviewed one of her friends, her best friend's dad, and we're asking you to please help out. Now, what about a refund from the tax from the IRS that goes to Green Dot Bank? Never heard of it, but this guy, Dan, he said his refund went there and nobody knows where it is. We'll talk about that. We also have Front Range Lighting with us. Now, Front Range Lighting, front LED lighting, I have to say that because it's totally different. Front Range LED lighting. And Joe, if you don't press the button, I'm not going to talk to you. So, Front Range LED lighting. So we do have some emails that I want to get to. And first, I want to go back to this refund thing. And I want to tell anyone with a problem that they can call us at 303-713-TALK. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on iHeartRadio, live on KHOW Radio, live on KRDO Radio. And Terry, you have information on the Green Dot Bank. What is the Green Dot Bank?
Hi, Tom. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tom, so about a year and a half ago, I bought some of those prepaid cards at King Soopers to take to a vacation in Costa Rica, and they were issued by Green Dot Bank. And when I got there, they wouldn't allow me to use them out of the country, so I asked them for a refund. And
wait, Green Dot Bank would not allow it?
Correct, yeah. Yeah,
that sucks.
So basically, I gave them $1,500 for 3 $500 cards, and then they wouldn't allow me to use them out of the country. So when I tried to get my money back from Green Dot, they issued me a letter basically accusing me of being a drug dealer, human trafficker, this, that, and the other, and said they will take it into consideration
Terry,
to get my money back.
Did they keep your money?
They kept it for about 60 days, and then I finally got a lawyer friend of mine involved that wrote him a letter.
All right, I need you to tell us how to get in touch with these jerks. Can you believe that? Maybe we ran into some bad news here. We'll have more coming up.
How do you spell psyched?
Psyched, P-S. You mean psyched? P-S-Y-C-H-E-D.
God, I was spelling it so wrong, spell check didn't even understand it.
But TurboTax is the one that forces them to go to Green Dot.
Right. Well, yeah, because it's free. That's where they're making their money. They're giving a lead to the bank's paying them for that, and they're giving you the free service.
And they get to keep the money.
Yeah, and you know,
use the money.
You get screwed. There's the problem. You know why? Because if you don't use an accountant and you use these guys, a tax preparer, they miss everything. They're horrible. And even worse is if you sit there and do it yourself. Do you do yours yourself?
Used to.
Yeah. Well, I
want to get Sean from Altitude SEO on. Sean H-A-K-E-S.
This is
I want to get him on the radio. Tell him it'll be good, but I don't challenge him.
What's the other? Kiplinger. I used TurboTax for years. No problem. No, I didn't have any problem.
My point is you're probably missing a ton.
On TurboTax?
Yeah, you're probably missing write-offs. You're probably missing all kinds of
Or
stuff.
you're finding out their homes are gone. Fox's Hillary Bonds and now.
Mine was pretty simple until I got married.
Life's pretty simple till you get married.
So I don't do it anymore, but I don't do TurboTax anymore.
Oh, these fires are unbelievable, man. Look at that picture right there. I saw that yesterday.
I don't even know.
It's completely a neighborhood of thousands of people gone. A 100-year-old guy and his wife who was 80-something died. I mean, there's so many people missing. But they said the cell towers are all burned down, so they could just literally not have communications.
But what I remember of Napa is just, thousands of acres of grape fields with a building here and then a building 40 acres away or whatever. And so I just didn't think that they could have, it's almost like a forest fire. Like here in Colorado, I can see these fires happening.
They said the grapes are going to be, some of them are going to be wrecked because of the smoke.
Oh, easily.
Wow. Just the smoke.
Yeah, they absorb it.
Yeah.
I better go buy my year's worth of wine, you're saying.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, no, prices will go up. I mean, Napa Valley's huge. Or Sonoma, both of them, I guess.
Of course, there's more and more states that are starting to do that. I mean, Colorado's got a pretty big wine out there.
You know, I didn't know that. It's so weird. There's a place up by you guys. It's like Colorado Wines right off that highway.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, I didn't even know we had any wines.
Well, he doesn't actually make them there.
No, but they're all from Colorado, right?
Grapes.
Yeah. He has somebody blend it or actually make the wine for him.
Got it.
But a lot of the grapes are from the Western Slope, I think.
That's amazing. I never thought we had grapes here. You'd think the damn winter would just kill the plant off completely.
Yeah.
I like this. Trump says, hey, any more fake news, we might have to pull that license, NBC. He's got balls. He's fucking nuts.
Well, this is like Obama might do a executive order. I guess he could do even if they're illegal, so what?
Fake news,
they happen.
We're turning you off. I'll tell you though, that whole scandal with that dude, man, is mind blowing.
Which one?
He was at the White House, Harvey Weinstein. This guy, the story I heard that lady tell on CNN this morning was unbelievable. 28-year-old local news gal, going back to '92. She's 28. She sits down with this guy at dinner, a group of them. He says, hey, by the way, I own part of the restaurant below. They were upstairs eating like in a conference room or something. You want to see up my restaurant? So he brings her down to the restaurant, ends up, as she describes it, kind of trapping her in a corner where she'd have to get there. He tried to kiss her. She says no. He literally whips it out, goes to completion while she's sitting there like frozen. And then she finally said, I didn't know what to do. I was frozen. I said, can I leave now? And then she left. Didn't say anything for, 20 years about it.
How many different people are complaining?
Oh my God, it's like Cosby times 2.
But that's where the credibility comes in, right? When you have that many people.
Oh, it's Angelina Jolie. It's
So what happens? One says it. One says it, and then it gives them courage. Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. And all of them said, it's a true casting couch. You wouldn't get the damn movies. In other words, it's so weird thinking Gwyneth Powell and the other whoever wouldn't be nearly as big as they were if they didn't do. That's how powerful this guy was.
Did she say she had sex with him?
She did not. She did not go into what happened or did not happen.
You know what's
But
crazy?
she sure made it sound like it wasn't good.
It's crazy though that all the male actors that knew what was going on.
Brad Pitt. They all covered this up and let this guy do it for that long.
Yeah. Do you know how powerful he is?
Oh my God.
No,
2013.
I had no idea until this came out. I mean, he literally was like the most powerful man in Hollywood, I think.
Oh,
guy.
What's the name of his company?
You don't have to pretend to
It's his
like
last
Harvey
name?
Weinstein anymore.
It was the guy that looks like you, Seth Rogen.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
No. Well,
Mark is not as good looking as him.
no, but he said it on there and stuff. So he at least had some balls to say that. And then who said, called him a god? Who's that famous actor?
Do you know how many movies he has produced?
Oh, jeez.
And TV?
It's Miramax. I mean,
Not so much anymore, though.
who was the guy that married his stepdaughter? Woody Allen.
His wife is leaving her.
Woody Allen is like.
Oh, his wife's gorgeous.
Look at these. Look at these credits, man. It's never ending. Look at that.
So is he like a director, producer, everything?
Everything.
Oh, no, he never did.
Wind River, Waco, Founder,
Pardon
Lion.
me, Steve Sizek's on for the tax refund call, and then Sean found a good spot, so I'm going to get him on the horn.
But I think
He's
everybody
got a lot
knew.
of good movies, man.
And then they said,
Did you see how beautiful his wife
"Oh,
is?
she's beautiful."
Holy
They got 2 kids.
crap.
They got 2 kids.
So here's what I love. You know where he is now, right? They sent him to get fixed in California to a sex addict place. It's like, who was the guy in the Springs that was snorting coke?
I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show ever of its kind, turning the airwaves over to you to solve problems, recovering millions of dollars for you, and I want to say millions of dollars and a liver. That is our next quest. We are attempting to find a suitable donor for Melinda Ray. Please go to my Facebook page to see the post about saving Melinda's life. It's a wonderful story about how she is fighting and what a wonderful person she is. I don't mean a wonderful story in her struggle and her challenge, but you just never know. This woman took care of herself, ate right, exercised, and then a rare liver disease starts enlarging her liver. She just needs a donor. She's not looking for money. She's not looking for anything other than a donor, which is major. That's a major thing. So we have all the information there. So what you do is you see this thing, click on it, you'll go to a landing page which will explain the situation. Then there's a form to fill out. Seriously, please, if you can do it. Now, we have a couple things going on. First, we have front range LED lighting with us, and we're going to talk about converting to LED and the benefits and how inexpensive it is and how you start saving money. So, first, this tax refund thing. Steve Sizik with Larson Tax Relief is going to help us. Now, they don't deal in refunds. That's not what they do. Larson Tax Relief, basically, they intercede at the IRS for audits and missing tax returns, challenge tax returns, problems with back taxes, liens, levies. They get you out of these situations. They act on your behalf. They mediate, they negotiate, they do whatever they can to help you, and they've been doing it for years with great success. But the only reason Steve is here, by the way, he's an attorney, and the only reason he's here is because I want to talk about the refund issue. They don't handle refunds for people, but I figure they know a lot about this system. Steve, I didn't realize this, but TurboTax automatically has your refund go to some green dot bank. Have you heard that?
I didn't know about Green Dot Bank. I knew that they were funneling it into some sort of escrow before it would be distributed.
Now, the IRS,
you can do that.
What does the IRS do if they send out a refund to a P.O. box, to a door, to a house, and you don't get it? Can't they see if it's been cashed or not, and maybe issue another one just like anyone else could on a check?
Yeah, and I've had an issue like this with a client of mine, and it's one of those things where it's sort of guilty until proven innocent on the IRS's side. Once they issue the check, it's the onus of the taxpayer to prove that they didn't receive it. And I've had to go through some significant trouble to verify with the IRS that money was not received by the taxpayer. It's an unfortunate circumstance, and as a piece of advice, I would say anybody filing for a refund should have that either mailed to their personal address directly, or have that deposited into their own bank account, because the IRS, trying to get the IRS to issue a refund twice is like pulling teeth, as you can imagine.
But you've done it through the advocate's office, is it?
Yeah, typically you can go through the advocate's office. There is actually another division that issues the refunds, and as you can imagine, tax fraud is rampant when it comes to fake tax returns, and then they'll issue refunds to people, and so it becomes almost like a cottage industry of these people just ripping off the government. The problem is, if your name is on that return, then they check the box, they got you a refund, and then it's your problem to go and prove to the IRS that you didn't actually receive that money, and that can actually take a lot of time.
Okay, Steve, so that's where I'm going to recommend that he do. And then again, what happens if it was fraudulent? I mean, does the IRS even get involved or not? I mean, if it was cashed by someone, do they even get involved?
I've seen, and I've seen that the IRS typically will make sure that the taxpayer is compensated the refund that they're owed. So if you can prove that you didn't receive the funds, then they will actually. It's not easy, but they will eventually you'll get your refund. It could take as much as a year, unfortunately, and a lot of brain damage. But they they understand if you can prove that you didn't get the money, they will get you your refund. The IRS necessarily doesn't, as far as I know, pursue a lot of these fraudulent returns because they just, the manpower that would.
Well, that's just like when employers don't pay in taxes, taxpayers still get their refund, don't they?
Exactly right.
Okay,
right.
So they do take on the responsibility if you can prove it, but you have to prove it. That's larceny tax relief, of course, for back tax issues, audits, unpaid taxes, unfiled returns, or filed returns that are being disputed. 844-LARCEN-TAX. They're a member of my referral list at referrallist.com. So, Dan, as far as this green dot goes, we have Terry. Dan's the one that didn't get his refund. Terry is online. Terry, so you did deal with them and succeeded, but they gave you a hard time, right?
Yeah, they're very much a predatory lending institution, and I had to do my research and go online, and I believe it was a Pasadena mailbox that I had to send stuff to, and you have to send your stuff in certified through the mail, otherwise they're just going to say they never got it, they never got it, they never got it.
All right. So Dan, did you try writing to them at the Pasadena address?
No.
Okay, that's one thing we want to do. Now, I see your tax return thing here, and other than that, Terry, you don't have any back phone numbers or anything, do you?
No, because every time I dialed a phone number, it ended up going to a call center in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And then they would say, oh, we'll have an American agent get in touch with you in 48 hours, which never happened. So this whole thing took about 90 to 100 days to get resolved. And once I had my attorney friend send a letter in explaining the situation with all of my documentation, they finally did send me my 3 different refunds.
Why didn't you just use the cards? I mean, you had 500 on them. Why didn't you just use them?
You know, Tom, I was out of the country. I didn't have any cash with me. I kind of.
Oh, I mean, when you were home, when you came home, why didn't you use them?
Well, because I had already called in and said, send me a refund.
Okay.
So at that point, they put me into some sort of a Homeland Security type.
That is so crazy. So they won't let you use a prepaid card out of the country.
No, Green Dot will not.
All right, that'll screw you up. All right, now let's talk to Dan about his refund. Okay, so Dan, I see here on the form, disbursement method, you put down direct deposit to a checking account. Is that right?
To my checking account, gave them my routing number.
Then why did they send it to Green Dot? I thought you said it went to Green Dot, right? Why do they bother asking where you want it distributed? Or does it go first from the IRS to Green Dot, then from Green Dot to you?
That's what I believe is supposed to happen. I didn't.
And what Green Dot is doing, Green Dot is playing the spread. They have millions of dollars in that account. The longer they keep them, the better.
Yeah.
So in a dispute that could take 3 months, they're making good money. Mark, that's their play. They have millions of dollars with H&R Block. I'm not H&R Block. I'm sorry, TurboTax.
Yeah.
But TurboTax has to have some responsibility. This is crap. So first things first, okay? You got to go to the Taxpayers Advocate's Office, and you have to argue your case there. You did not get your refund. Now, if they say they issued it, did you get an account number it was issued to?
No, the IRS would not give that to us. They just said it was deposited in the Green Dot Bank.
And Green Dot, you cannot get through to?
No.
Did you try calling?
That's the number that they gave us, the number I forwarded to you.
That 317-360-1510?
Yes, and it's busy all the time.
All the time. 317, just try it for the heck of it right now, Suzanne. 317-360-1510. God, this is frustrating. You know, he says if you can prove you didn't get it, they probably will reissue it. But, you know, this is ridiculous. I wish there was someone we could call. We need to try. You know what, Suzanne?
It's busy.
Yeah. We need to try to get through to TurboTax.
How do you prove a negative?
I know. We got to get through to TurboTax.
You probably agree when you get that. I think you use TurboTax for free, and that's why they make you use his bank.
Yeah, but Mark, I'm telling you, what do you do when you don't get your money? Seriously, what if they multiply this by thousands? What happens if your tax refund goes into a bank and you don't get it? Yes. All right, let's talk again to Steve Sissick at Larson Tax. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to interject. Something about this seems off because I remember that there are limitations on direct deposits. I just looked this up on the the IRS website. There should be a limitation on direct deposits, and that they only should be direct deposited into a bank account with the taxpayer's name on it.
Really?
That's under Circular 230. That's
yeah, but they probably, when they're signing up with TurboTax, it probably creates that account.
It's very possible that they're doing that, but this seems. This seems to me. It seems like.
Do you have any contacts? This is crazy, but you're in the big tax business. You're a national firm, Larson Tax Relief. Do you guys know anyone at TurboTax? Seriously, do you know?
I don't know anyone at TurboTax, but I do have some contacts with the advocate's office who can give me a little bit more direction on how one would pursue this. So, if you want to.
Is it someone we can call, or do you want to call them for us and just ask about it?
Yeah, I would want to call, and then I can go ahead and get back if you want to give me the caller's information.
Yeah, we will. That's what we're going to do. Great. Larson Tax Relief. Dan, they don't even do this, and they're going to help us out, man. So we're going to get some information from you for Steve Sissick if you allow him to call the advocate's office for you. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
And then let's see what happens, okay? Thank you, Dan. Just hang on. So, Suzanne, get Steve Dan's info. Maybe you might want to forward him the information. But people, if you've had this problem, I'd like to know about it. Could you imagine if this was widespread? All right, I got one email here for front range LED lighting. Can you dim the LEDs? I have dimmable lights in my office.
Absolutely. There are dimmable lights available. Most of the ones that, like the fluorescent tube replacements that we put in, are not dimmable for the most part because people don't ask for that.
Okay.
But they are dimmable on just about every kind of LED light there is.
Okay. Now, one said, you talked about the utility company paying. Do you have any tax credits like solar? Are there any tax credits? I don't know. That's just a question I got.
I am not aware of any tax credits.
I thought there were tax credits for energy efficiency in general because I know sometimes when you do high efficiency furnaces, there were tax credits of some kind. But I don't know about LED. I don't know. Can you look it up, Mark, on the internet or something? Okay, we have more coming right up. I want to tell you, this is the Troubleshooter Show, and we're helping you. All you have to do is call. We have lines open now, 303-713-TALK. And Pure Water Choices, you can find on Facebook, Pure Water Choices. And I urge you to look them up on Facebook and like their page. Why? Because you'll get valuable information every day about pure water. The master plumber who owns this, Al, wants to put the truth out about water purification and water treatment. So go to Facebook, look for Pure Water Choices. And it's actually called purewaterchoices.com on Facebook. 720-219-7818 is their number, 7818. If you need information on getting a filtration system for your home or a full conditioning system, they run anywhere from $600 all the way up to $3,800 for the Mac Daddy, the entire house, conditioning. And I'm telling you, this is the real deal, not the hype, not these door-to-door guys. 720-219-7818.
There are tax incentives.
There is?
Yeah, and I should get
we should advertise that.
In fact, there's for commercial, there's a big one, right? I forget what the details are.
I'm starting to feel a little better, but man, I'm telling you. When will Sean be available? Right now? Sean, I'm going to come to you in a minute, okay? And then I'll let you go. But, yeah, and I'll give you a little hype for the company, and then I'm going to ask you to help me with something, and it's all going to be cool. You'll like it, okay? All right.
Babe, are you going to boost that post too?
It's boosted. Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're actually doing a paid campaign.
Okay.
It's not just boosted, it's a whole campaign.
Okay.
That's different than boosting a postmark, or is it exactly the same? Like when I do an article and you boost it, We don't have a clip
emailer and stuff that
Is
says
it different than that kind of campaign? Are they two different campaigns?
What?
Yeah, boosting a post is different than an advertising campaign.
Is boosting a post pretty good or not?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. They're very similar.
So the 179D.
Oh, and you know what's funny is she called too, and I texted her.
Oh, it'll pay.
So she got it. She's fine.
50 cents a
Thank
square
you.
foot.
I guess we could almost put up
For a
front
commercial
right away,
property.
or
It's a pretty
negative
big deal.
stuff is what they gotta have. That's a huge.
It's on there when you click.
Right.
It's in the criteria.
Yeah.
You won't have to worry about your wages being garnished or losing your house. Larson will get between you and the IRS. They'll save you thousands and thousands of dollars. I trust Ron and Jack Larson and their team of
Man, it looks like Ben Affleck.
We could have gotten rid of this one, Larson tax
In
relief.
fact, that one lady who did that said she told Ben, that Bill McGowan told Ben Affleck that. They're scumbag. I think Hollywood is the scummiest people. You know, they're
And all these people follow them.
so hypocritical.
There's a 179D Department of Energy tax credit.
We'll talk about
and they'll pay from $60 to $1.80 a square foot.
You know what's kind of funny?
For commercial
Really behind against Trump.
upgrades.
Yeah, they're all these
Hollywood.
people.
Well, I mean, Hollywood, education, and media are all so corrupt. You look at education, they won't allow anybody, you know, many of the institutions won't allow conservative speakers to come on.
Watch that license, NBC. Christ, we'd never hear the end of that one.
Oh my God. Is this wrong? Then go on. Is this wrong?
Trump never failed to entertain.
Oh, man. I agree.
I love it. That dude can stir the pot, man.
As
He's
long as-
calling out his own Republicans left and right now.
I just, when I get up in the morning, I just think, oh, what did Trump do?
Yeah. This Hollywood thing, was just unbelievable.
Oh, it is.
It's
And
like
think-
everybody knew this
Everybody's
guy,
right,
and
right.
everybody just let him do
So,
it.
so what's that really famous? She's an older lady now, actress and stuff. I mean, very, very famous. Probably the most famous woman actress.
Oh, yeah.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, yeah.
On the awards, called him a god. Harvey Weinstein
Oh,
is
yeah.
a god.
Several years ago, yeah.
He used to put me on my knees all the time, she goes on to say.
NBC facing heat.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
To hold a license.
No, why are they facing heat?
I don't know. Because they're fake news. They're going to get their license pulled.
I'm sure they didn't find a way to blame Trump for this, though.
Somehow Trump, he's probably the only guy that didn't. Probably
He said it.
doesn't like Harvey. Hey, he hit on Melania.
And did you know that the Obamas gave their oldest daughter an internship with Harvey?
Oh, snap.
Yes. Yes.
Can you imagine interning for him? Jesus, who knows what's involved in that job.
I know.
If I do Facing Heat NBC, it's just that
Look,
Megyn
Clinton
Kelly.
and Obama family condemning Weinstein.
Yeah, after 4 days.
Of course they are.
4 days.
Well, I mean, they wanted to see how many people are going to come out. I mean, I think 4 days is not unreasonable. What do you think? You don't come right out as soon as you hear something.
My God.
You don't think they knew about it?
Oh,
You don't think the
now,
rumors
if
were out there?
If they knew about it, it's inexcusable.
I'll bet you Bill did. Bill said, hey, I did it too.
Yeah, Clinton, they probably went out.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. If you're in trouble, if you ever need help for a criminal accusation, God, I hope that never happens to you. Joe Lazzara. Now, if it happens, if you have a DUI, you know, that's so preventable. It's so preventable. All you have to do is get a designated driver. How easy is that? Or Uber or Lyft. I can never understand why. And I asked Joe Lazzara, and he said, here's why. People, they don't intentionally do it. They're thinking, oh, I only had a drink or two. And they don't realize they're just on the edge or over the edge. Or sometimes they're feeling good, but as they metabolize it, your blood alcohol goes up. That can even happen with these handheld calculators. You know, you think this breathalyzer, you blow into it, it looks good, but then a half hour later, it's processed more, and you have more blood alcohol levels. So listen, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Joe Lazzaro's not going to judge you. He's not going to do anything except represent you. Guilty or innocent, doesn't matter. What you really need is to get through this system, because you can't do it alone. LazzaraLegal.com, that's 2 Z's and 1 R. LazzaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Let's talk to Sean Hakes. Now, why am I talking to Altitude SEO? Can anyone guess why I'm going to be talking to one of the premier SEO companies in town? Sean is on the phone. He has no idea why I'm calling. Sean, I need your help, and here's what I need.
Because he needs LED lighting?
No. Sean, listen. We have a woman who, their family contacted us, and Melinda, her name is Melinda Ray, and Melinda Ray needs a liver because she has a rare liver disease. And we did an article on our Facebook page, and we're trying to boost it. And we really, really want people to volunteer to be tested to see if they're a match. And she needs a recipient, a donor. She really does. Her family needs her. She is just a wonderful person and has many friends rooting for her. None of them are a match. And so why do I need you? I need you to help us, because I know when you do your little magic, you can boost stuff and send it out. We need you to share this with as many people as possible so we can find a donor for her. And it's that easy. So whatever little special things you do, because you told me one time, in addition to doing regular SEO for companies on a regular basis, there are little things you can do, tricks of the trade, on a particular post or photo or something that you want out there. Isn't that right?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, and even, in fact, I heard one time when you found a ripoff one time, you made sure whatever you did was seen by a lot of people. See, that's the danger. It can be used for good and bad. And by the way, what you did was good because that person was a ripoff and you wanted everyone to know about it. So I would like you, if you can get a chance, I know you're traveling, but if you look at our referral list Facebook page and look at that post, we're trying to boost it in our own way, but I just want you to do some stuff too, and do some shares or whatever you can do to get the word out so we can try to find a liver donor for her.
Sure, I'd love to help.
Okay, man, thank you. I knew you would, and I certainly appreciate it. And, of course, Sean, you do this for a living, Altitude SEO. I highly recommend to businesses. And thanks, Sean. So it's on our Facebook page. I know you're familiar with it since you do our work for us. So thank you. All right. Now, what do you think? That might work, too.
I think he's going to do wonders. Yeah. I've seen him do his magic. You know, I just got to bring up this Weinstein thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, I wanted
what a scumbag.
No, I want to talk
about all these Hollywood people, I swear to God, they were protecting them. Do you realize Obama's daughter actually interned with this nut?
Well, I mean, Obama had no idea. He'd never let his daughter do
I think they all cover this crap up.
I know.
Every one of them. How about all the actresses that came out and said, in 1992 he did this to me, no one ever turned him in, and he did it to other women throughout the time. Now, I don't want to victim blame, but how does Gwyneth Paltrow, or whatever her name, have issues with him 30 years ago and doesn't tell anybody?
Well, this is what I wanted to know, and I wanted to ask. And I never blame victims for anything. I don't care how they're dressed. I don't care what they say. You know, no. This is not victim blaming. But I do want to know this, and perhaps someone can tell me who's actually experienced it. Why did women keep it to themselves? Why did they not?
And we're not talking two.
No, I think they were like...
Because they wanted the role. I mean, it has to come down to, it was either their career or not their career, I would assume.
So they felt that if they exposed him, maybe everyone would look at him as a nut, or they would say, oh, you're bad news, and they would blame them, and then he would deny it, and then they'd never work again, right?
I guess so. I mean, this guy did some of the most lewd things I've ever heard of.
No, I really would like to know why do they keep it to themselves when this happens? Now, I imagine it's mostly women who are victimized. It's just the fact of life. But so why do women in these cases, like with Cosby, why do they keep it to themselves for so long? And then what does it take? It takes one brave soul, right? It takes one to, like, break the dam.
That's not crushed. because Cosby crushed a few and made them go away.
So how does that happen? Does who did it in this case? What broke the dam? Do you know which case? Why did it all of a sudden come out?
This guy did like an undercover investigation, and it was going to run apparently on NBC. NBC squashed it, and he went over to the New Yorker, I believe it was, and then that's how it broke a few days ago. But he interviewed tons of different women.
But where did he... Somebody must have called him secretly and said, if you talk to women, you're going to find this out. But why did NBC quash the story, do you know?
He's very...
He's powerful, isn't he?
Very powerful.
He's one of the most prolific producers in all of Hollywood of all time.
I think they quashed it because here's a guy that's got political connections. He's got money. You know, he's Hollywood. He's the man, I guess.
Why? I mean, I don't know.
But for NBC to squash that, they're taking a lot of heat on that right now because it's coming out that, you know, it looks like they literally squashed it because of who he is.
So, if you can tell me, especially women, why do you think they keep it to themselves for so long? I don't, you know, that obviously doesn't justify anything, but I think if you can't come forward right away...
But when they don't come forward and other women are victimized, don't you think that original victim holds a little heat there? I mean, they could have stopped it.
I mean, a little guilt?
A little guilt, yes.
For the future, you mean? Well, I don't know. I just don't know.
Is that a wrong way to look at it? It sure seems correct to me. If I know someone's running around beating people up, and then I don't tell anybody about it, and other people get beaten up or killed,
no, I know.
I have some guilt there.
No, I know what you mean. Vicki.
Yes.
Welcome. What's going on?
Thanks. Yeah, my mom was a resident of the St. Paul Health Center from like September 2015 until her death in July of this year.
Okay, what's the name of that place again?
St. Paul Health Center.
Okay, and what's going on with them?
Well, while she was a resident, someone there stole her wedding rings. And I reported it to the nurse, and I reported it to the administrator. And
how do you know they stole them and she didn't just misplace them?
Well, because she couldn't hear, she couldn't see, and she was confined to a wheelchair.
Were they expensive rings?
Yes, it was a wedding band, her wedding ring, and a 25th anniversary ring. And her hands were so gnarled from arthritis that we couldn't get them off when we put
So there was
her
a
in.
wedding ring, an engagement ring.
And a 25th anniversary ring.
Okay, so how did they get them off her hands?
I don't know. I have no idea how.
So they wouldn't even come off. She kept them on all the time.
Yeah, she wore those rings for 64 years.
All right, hold on. Then it does sound like something went wrong. Hold on. We'll come back.
They cut them off, huh?
Well, how would they get them off her?
I've seen, like I said, my mom's got bad arthritis. You can't get them over. I mean, knuckles are huge. And olive oil. Even that, so they could cut them.
So, Mark, I've been flying my little air coupe all over the place. It's so cute.
You like that over the helicopter?
Oh, no. It's just a fun thing. It brings back memories. I feel like I'm a kid again. Because I flew those when I was very young, and I've had 3 of them. I think 3 or 4. 3 of them. That I would rebuild each one. And this one is the premier, pristine. And it's just so much fun. It's just so much... There's nothing practical about it. It's just so much fun. God, I'm telling you, it's so hard to climb out, too. I can't believe that I took that thing cross country. I took it from here to New York, from here to Florida, to Chicago. I flew that little frickin' plane all over the country, and I can't believe I did it. I had hardly any fuel in it, and Griffin and me, and he's skinny. No luggage, nothing. And we were only climbing at the very best, 400 feet a minute, at the very best. I could hardly climb out. And I used to pack that, Chuck and I would pack that full of stuff in the back, overnight bags, full with fuel. And we'd take off and fly to Oshkosh. I mean, I don't even know, I was crazy. I mean, not that it was unsafe, but like taking off was so hard. I don't even know how the hell I did it.
Let's talk LED.
So crazy. So, well, you know, you understand that
if I did a theme show, I hope he explained this to you. If we talked about LED and just talked about LED, you would have no listeners because you'd only have the ones interested, and then they could go away. But what happens is when I touch on the topic and come back and touch and come back, you actually get more people because people tune in into and out of talk radio every 15 minutes. Now, some people keep listening, but the idea is to get a new group each time that will stay listening. And the old group, since they weren't inundated, they won't tune out. So you kind of have the best. If you had one single topic show, no matter what it is, you absolutely have the audience decline goes like this. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. Very rare circumstances. For example, it goes like this because you can never find something that appeals to everyone. You're always going to have people that are tuning out, and then they tune in and tune out. Except for things like, let's say, something really major, like this Weinstein. If we were going to talk to Harvey Weinstein and he's going to give his story, well, then that's different. Then it would do this. People would find out and start tuning in. But when you do a normal topic, you can never do a theme show. I've had people come in and say, well, wait a minute, we only talked a few minutes here and a few minutes there, and they want their radio time. Well, you can't make people interested. You know what I'm saying? No matter how interesting it is to you, being on the radio or on TV doesn't make it interesting. These shows that people think like they pay for, these interview shows, where for 7 minutes you're on that long form and they talk about your business, they have the worst. They don't even have a 1/10 of 1% rating because they're so bad. The benefit of being on the radio is getting the name out, getting the thought out, and then revisiting it, coming back, going, coming back, and going. And that's why I sprinkle in LED and then go away. So people don't think, oh shit, I don't want, not that people aren't interested, but they can only be interested for a certain amount of time with any topic.
So is it worth mentioning that 179D federal tax incentive?
In fact, I'll mention everything over and over. Yeah, I'll absolutely do that, but I'm going to put that in your ads from now on too.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big deal. That would be a big deal for some people.
That is a big deal.
In fact, they don't even care whether you got a local rebate or not. They don't care. They'll just pay per square foot for energy improvement.
But I just want you to
lighting
know,
alone will give you 60 cents.
Like every time I come back and I say front range LED lighting in the studio, that puts it out there. So it's beneficial. It's beneficial. So don't feel like, I know that it's weird because we're sitting here talking and we only go and talk for a few minutes at a time, but that's by design. I'm doing
Okay. No worries.
And usually people should explain that to their people.
Dan?
Well, whose people is he?
Whose people are you?
His people.
Neil Cohen.
I'm Tom Martino. Today,
Front range LED lighting is in the house. Joe Weisenbach, and it's just automatically, there's no downside. It's automatically a way to save money. And we just found out, we were exploring this. You do get tax incentives, tax credits of some kind. And we'll talk about that coming up. So you get tax credits, plus the utility companies will pay half the installation. And I have some email on that, and we'll ask some more questions. I also want to remind you, we're doing the liver donor search on our Facebook. Please go to Facebook and look at the referral list Facebook. There's a story there about a lovely woman, Melinda Ray. And, okay, let's go to the phones, all right? Vicki says her mom was at St. Paul Health Center, and her rings were taken. Is your mom, how old was is your mom alive, or she passed away?
No, she passed away. She was 91.
When did she pass away?
July of this year.
Okay, so here's what I want to know. When did you notice the rings missing?
Well, I was diagnosed with cancer in October of 2016, so I was unable to visit her until March of 2017. But the nursing staff, the woman that I spoke to, said...
So when you visited her in March, what did you see? No rings?
No, a fake Walmart cheap ring on her finger.
So wait, you mean they actually went out and bought another ring for her?
Yes. And I spoke to the nurse, the head nurse, and she remembered seeing my mom's rings as late as February.
So she did admit seeing them?
Yes.
3 rings?
Yes. She said, in fact, she commented on the fact that they were all soldered together.
What kind of dirtbag would steal someone's rings?
How much? I'll bet you it happens so much you wouldn't believe
you
that.
You think so?
With older people in nursing homes, of course. How much were they, without exaggeration? Let's take each one. The band would be how much?
Oh gosh, I don't know. My dad bought it for
a band is not that expensive. Is it gold? Just a pure gold band?
No, they're silver.
Okay, then it's not going to be worth much. A silver band truly is not going to be worth a lot. I mean, and I know the sentimental value and all that, but I'm talking about value of that band is not much.
It wasn't just a band, though. It had 6 diamonds in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little different. What size were the diamonds?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Okay, were they like little grains of salt, the little tiny
No, they weren't little grains of salt. They were probably, maybe a millimeter.
Okay, give me an idea what you think a band with the 6 diamonds. I have no idea. I mean, $1,000?
Probably.
What would you say the engagement ring? Did that have a stone in it?
Yes. There was a center stone that was 1 carat, and then there were 3 diamonds on either side.
It was actually 1 carat?
Yes.
Okay. So a carat, okay. So that could be $6,500. It could be more. It could be less, depending on the quality. So I don't know.
She had a 25th anniversary ring that also mirrored her wedding band, so it had 6 diamonds in it, and they were all silver.
Okay, so I don't know, maybe another. If we're talking under 10 grand, that's
probably under 10 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does the nursing home say they're going to do? Because I don't think. Here's the problem. I mean, really, it's not just a problem for you. It's a problem for anyone. What do you do? I mean, what do you do? If my mom's rings were missing, what do? I go to them, they say, where's my mom's rings? But then what do you do? I mean, you know, we can go after things when we have a legal thing to hang on, or we can put the word out about, you know, constant abuse or cheating or lying. That's the value of this show, or to warn people about what can happen. But what do you do when rings are simply missing? And sometime between February and March, they're missing. You know, so they're just missing. What do you do?
Well, I asked the administrator to report it to his CGL carrier.
Sure.
And then give me the adjuster's name. He never did that.
Well, okay. Would they take responsibility just because they're missing?
Well, they're saying that if they can't prove they're stolen.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Or we can't prove she didn't lose them. Listen, I believe you. I don't want to, Vicki, I don't even want to go. Of course I believe you, especially if there was a replacement ring. That's egregious. You know, did your mom, when you talked to her, did she have any knowledge of the ring at all?
No, she had Alzheimer's really bad, and so she would not have even noticed, you know, within 15 minutes if someone took her rings.
Oh, my God.
And, you know, my biggest concern is I know I'm never going to get the rings back.
No.
But I feel like if they were willing to do this to someone who was so incapable of caring for themselves, they're doing it to other people.
Of course they are. Of course they are. But who? I mean, was there any one particular person? You know, these people must have an idea. Because I can't believe it's the only time anything was ever reported missing.
Right. Well, and I have a feeling who the person is.
Now, that's what I wondered. Why do you have that feeling?
Because when I approached him and asked him about the rings, he said your mother never had any rings. And she'd been there for 2 years, and they were obvious. So, first off, that was a lie.
Then did you ask where she got that pretty little Kmart ring?
Yeah, well, and that's what I said. I asked him, I said, well, someone replaced her rings with this cheap ring, and he said, no, she's always worn that ring.
Okay, so...
And then when I went in after, up until the time she passed away, every time I would go in to visit her, he would avoid me and go hide in his office.
Okay, so what do you think? Did you tell anyone of your suspicion?
I told the administrator.
Why don't you ask them to do polygraphs? They should want to know who's honest on their staff. They should do polygraphs of people who had contact with your mom.
Yeah, I mean, she was on a floor. She couldn't leave that floor.
I would probably sue that guy in small claims court.
I mean, all they got to say, though, is we have no idea.
I'd sue him in small claims court and demand a polygraph. I don't know if it would work, but it would sure be
I don't
good.
think you can demand a polygraph.
No, but say, look, you should have no problem taking a polygraph. See what he says. Say, look, okay, if you're telling the truth, let's do a polygraph. I'll pay for it. See, you know, usually people's instincts are correct. I learned that from The Mentalist. So when you, you know, he said your first impression is probably the right one. So listen, I'm serious. You can get that bold, but I would pursue their insurance. And if you want, we can call and ask why they won't put it into their insurance, although the insurance is going to turn it down.
Well, he told me he called the insurance company and that the carrier or the adjuster told him that it wouldn't be covered.
And it probably won't.
I work for an insurance company, and we would never opine on a coverage position over the phone.
Well, I'm just going to tell you that it would probably not be covered, but you're right, they can put it through. That's what I think they should do, at least put it through. So, Suzanne, if she wants us to call them, we'll call St. Paul Health Center and ask them, why not just put a claim in? It's no shirt off their back. Okay, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You want to talk about a caring person and a person that will become your friend? And I don't mean it's just not some phony baloney shaking your hand. Frank Duran truly loves people. He loves to help them. And if you have a home that you want to sell, you can find no one better to list it than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. Frank not only lists your home, he has it cleaned and staged. He has a team to market it. He does outbound marketing, proactive marketing. He doesn't just sit there and wait for someone to call off a multi-list. He sells quicker and for more money than most other brokers, and he can prove it statistically. Frank Duran, he is with RE/MAX Alliance. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Frank had a live here.
Oh, on the sheet?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck broke the...
Yeah, in 2003. They showed the video. I watched it. I guess it was a live show.
Yeah, he really, they really, seriously.
Here it is. Watch. He basically grabs your tit, man. Right there. They keep playing it over and over. And she's like, here's exactly what he did. He literally grabbed it. Just like that.
And she liked it?
No, she didn't like it at all. But it was during a live thing. It was a live. What's she going to do? I mean, how do you react on live television? I guess it's live at least. I don't know.
I tell you, Hollywood really is the scum of the earth. I mean, you say Vegas is Sin City, Hollywood is Sin City.
It's bad, man.
It is.
It's a lot worse than I thought. And they're always the ones that are telling everybody how to live and who to vote for. And what I want to know is how come they always say they're going to leave if so-and-so's elected and they never fucking leave.
I know. I think
None of them should be here.
I think they forget. They forgot. I forgot I said that.
It's such people that said they would.
Oh, that ugly woman on The View. What's her name with the dreadlocks?
If Trump won. I bet there's more than you could ever imagine. 20 stars. Oh, the Hill. Here we go. Let's see.
What's her name said that? Cher. Cher said she would, I remember that, she would rather poke her eyes out than vote for Republican.
Byron Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, Lena Derman, Neve Campbell, Cher, Miley Cyrus, whatever her name is, Barbara Streisand, Amy Schumer, Chelsea Handler, of course,
Whoopi Goldberg.
Jon Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg.
Man, she should go just because she's ugly.
Said on the episode of the talk show earlier that if the country elects Trump, maybe it's time for me to move.
Yes, it is, Whoopi.
Leave it. Keegan Michael Key, whoever that is.
Michael Key?
Ruth Bader. I forgot a damn.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court. She said she would leave. No.
Ginsburg. Now it's time for us. Let's see. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg joked in an interview.
Mark, do you know this guy?
It's time to move to
New York. This guy has an engineering degree in physics.
Yeah.
Do you know how brainy that is?
I know.
Well, it's physics and double E, so it was a mix of both.
Yeah. That's nothing compared to getting a liberal arts degree, though. Can you quote poetry? I mean, come on, man.
No.
Okay.
You got me.
I majored in bullshit.
Well, this guy's an engineer also, right?
Yeah. I did speech and journalism.
I got my GED.
It's nothing. It's literally
I was
nothing.
16.
When you were 36?
No, I just got it last week.
Come out of jail.
I finally got
Come out of jail the second time.
I passed the bar exam.
Yeah?
Yep.
And?
Huh?
And?
New York.
Yeah.
Does that give you anything?
Well, here's what happened. It was a dare and a bet. Because in New York at the time, and you can look this up, you didn't have to go to law school to be a lawyer. You had to have, well, you could go to law school, but you had to have, if you could prove you had a certain amount of time in the legal profession, like a legal aid or something, and then you could pass the test, you became an attorney. Someone bet me, I bet you can't pass the bar, so I bet you I can. Now, I could not prove the legal prerequisite labor work, so I did not take it officially to become a lawyer because I didn't have what, you had to have, you just can't come in off the street. Like, one of the ones, Rosemary, her name was, she became an attorney without going to law school. She was always my hero. She worked and clerked. Now, even though I was in the legal profession, in my opinion, what I do, I mean, I listen to more, it did not count at the time. So I couldn't say, and it probably still wouldn't, huh?
Was it hard?
Oh, yeah, it was excruciating hard, but there's a secret to it. I'll tell you about the secret. There's really a secret.
Small pen.
Hi, Tom Martino.
Hey, real quick.
You're a troubleshooter. Yes, Mark.
There is tax credits for buildings.
There definitely are tax credits. 303-713-TALK. We'll talk about it. We got lines open, so I want you to get in right now. And if you have any questions about LED lighting, call us, because we have a lot of email questions. You do get tax credits, and Joe Weisenbach from Front Range LED will explain. And then I'll take all of your calls. I'll take them quickly and efficiently. 303-713-TALK. Okay, so, Joe, tell us about the federal tax credits in addition to any other help you get from local utilities or any discounts you might have. What do they get?
Okay, the Department of Energy doesn't care whether you've gotten rebates from local places or not, but there's a thing called the 179D, which even if, and it's an energy tax credit, so even if the only thing you do is LED lighting, then you can get up to, actually at least 60 cents per square foot.
That's pretty cool.
Of your commercial property.
So on top of getting your local paying almost 50%.
So if you have like a big, 15,000 square foot, that's not that huge. I mean, what do you get, can that be $9 grand? No. Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah.
Holy crap.
Plus then you save the money, up to 90% on the actual energy bill.
Yep. Now, this one email said, we talked about the utilities paying half of the installation cost.
Up to half.
Right. Now, why up to half? What does that mean? That's my question, not the email.
Well, they care about how much money you're going to, or how much energy you're going to save. So, for example, Colorado Springs Utilities offers you a rebate based on, what lighting you install and how much energy you're actually going to save.
So the more you save, the more rebate you get, or the more. Okay.
So let's say you have a parking lot that you're lighting.
Yeah.
And you're on average running the lights 12 hours a day, and each light uses like 450 watts or something. Then you will get the 50% rebate from Colorado Springs Utilities because of the amount of energy that you're actually saving. But if you have office lighting with
then you get less
in there, and you're only running them 6 or 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, then you ain't going to get it.
The more energy you save, the more rebate you get.
Right.
Okay, so up to 50% of installation costs. Does that include materials when you say that, or just your labor?
Materials, labor, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
See, that was the question. Does that include the materials? Now, what does it cost roughly to convert? And I don't even know how to answer that question. How about if we take? I don't.
How about this building?
Well, yeah, but no one knows this building. I need, like, let's take a. Is there a standard fluorescent fixture?
How about a Walmart parking lot?
Okay, a Walmart parking.
Everybody's been at a Walmart, so your typical Walmart parking lot.
Now that's okay.
It's hard to say. Let's say they have 60 lights on poles out there, and each one of them is using 450 watts per pole.
Okay. That's 450 watts. Why did we do that? 27,000 watts. Why did we do that calculation? Why did you say 60 and the watt? Why do watts count?
Oh, that's how much energy you're using.
Right.
So the watts is the energy, and if you're using...
Do you price by the watt is what I'm asking?
No.
What do you price by?
What we do, it's how
by
much...
the square foot, by the number of lights?
No, it depends on the lights that we put in.
So you go...
And how much trouble it is
You
to put 'em in.
obviously go and give some free estimates.
Always, yeah.
Okay.
Always free.
Okay.
So not only do we give a free estimate, but I'll come out and I'll count up all of the lighting that you have in your place. And then I'll itemize each item and figure out exactly how much energy you're using for all the lights in your place.
Right,
and then you'll tell them when their break even is?
Yeah, you can tell them the payback and all of that.
Oh, yeah, I tell them everything.
But we do want to get to costs, so I'm going to do that in the next hour. I want to literally try to tell them per fixture or something, a rough idea. I understand, you can't tell them exactly. Susan, what is your question? Hi, Susan.
Hi, Tom.
So
hey, I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm replacing windows in my condo.
Okay.
And
really, wait, they're actually letting you replace windows in a condo?
Oh, I guess I should call it a townhome.
Well, that's
where
even
we're
odd.
Responsible for the windows.
But they have to approve them, right?
Right.
Okay. What's your question?
I got a couple quotes, and I don't really need top of the line, which people have been coming out to want top of the line. And I heard you talking about a guy at Lowe's that you were saying he's like a
he's a guru, yeah. I don't know which Lowe's he works at, but I mean, we have plenty of great people on the referral list. If you tell me what are you looking for?
I'm just looking for like a mid-level window that I can afford. I don't know if
Window Source.
Window Source. Window Source.
Okay, well.
Okay,
great.
On the referral list.
Yep, you let us know. Just give them a call. Tell them we told you to call. Referralist.com, Window Source. Let us know what happens. Now, there are different people for different, situations, but when you told us you want something just to suffice, medium grade, they have it all, but just try them. I'm Tom.
So I see what you're going at.
We have to have.
We're looking for a number.
Yeah, well, just something. It can be really rough. So, like per fixture.
Let's say.
What's your average sale?
Let's say this one right here. A lot of times people will have the T12 tubes in their fixture. They use 40 watts each, and plus the ballast is 15 watts.
But I don't care about the power usage. I want to know how much to convert. Does it matter?
What's your average? Like your average warehouse you do? $5,000?
No, but you see, the average warehouse doesn't mean anything to people. Could we do an average? Like, we know there's always lighting in an office per square foot. I don't know how many fixtures per square foot, but we
I figured that
just
out
rough,
once.
just really rough.
I figured that out once, but I don't have the numbers in front of me.
People want to know, if they own a building, how much or a parking lot.
I could use our place, for example.
Use that.
But okay.
So we have a 15,000 square foot facility, and it's a combination of office and warehouse space. So we save about $400 a month on our electricity bill. And
is that the one I use in my commercial?
Pardon me?
Is that the example I use in my commercial?
Yeah.
I use it for an example. But listen, man, I don't care about what people say or anything. I just need to know some rough idea of installation. I promise you, I won't make it sound like it's this much per fixture, but I got to get an idea, let's say, per square foot of commercial space. What would a typical lighting situation be?
5,000, half office, half warehouse like yours, and then how long to actually pay all that back? That's what we're looking for.
Typically, the payback.
No, the payback.
Payback's a year and a half, typically.
I understand that because, but, and I know how difficult I'm asking you to do because it's really impossible. But I'll bet you somewhere there's so many light fixtures per square foot called out by the building department. I'll bet you somewhere, right? Who knows what it is? But like, how many fluorescent fixtures are there per square foot? Like, are there one per 100 square foot? I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Okay, but
I don't have it in front of me.
I'll just do it. Commercial lighting.
Tom, I emailed you about a lady who wanted a donated helicopter ride last week.
Yes.
She just emailed and said, hey, I hadn't heard back from Tom.
Okay, just give me an email and I'll put it in that folder that I called back on for that.
Okay.
Commercial lighting, okay? Let's just look at just what they say normally is what the coverage is.
For office space?
Yeah, and then warehouse. So, okay, watts per square foot, they say.
Schedule online for your free in-home estimate at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com. Champion's falling prices will have your energy bills fall year-round. And you...
Man, I think I nailed the targeting on this one.
Which one?
This,
what is it doing?
Liver. It just kicked off. It spent 62 cents.
I have a good feeling she's going to get it.
I hope to God.
Getchampion.com.
I've been putting it up here on something.
LED lighting requirement.
Saturday, October 28th, come experience the ultimate fall festival held at 4th Authority Field at Mile High.
Okay, warehouse.
Halloween costumes, trick or treat.
Square feet.
For more information and to sign up, visit broncosbunch.com.
This is good. So give me a dimension of a big warehouse. 500 by 500, or would that be too big?
18,000 square feet, 15,000.
And I do appreciate you being around.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Our special guest today, Joe Weisenbach. With Front Range LED lighting, I just want to say something. If you're in business, if you have a warehouse, if you have an office, this is a no-brainer. You will save money. How much? It depends, but you will save money. Up to 90% of energy usage you could save. Up to 90%. You can knock off. And I'm telling you, there are people saving thousands a year. The payback is usually only a year to 2 years tops. You get tax credits, and you get a rebate from utility companies up to half of the installation cost. It is unbelievable, and that it's just I don't know why everyone doesn't do it.
And you can find out how much you're going to save for free.
Can you? Yeah, and can you finance the thing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now think about this. You're saving the money anyway every month. You can then, you're not paying a dime more on your energy bill, and part of it now will go to pay it off. So in other words, if you finance it and you get the tax credit and you get half of the installation paid by a utility company, up to half, what happens then is you can finance the balance and pay on it monthly. But your overall monthly expenses will not go up because you're simply taking the money you're saving to pay it off.
They'll go down.
Of course, even with a payment to finance,
right.
It'll go down. So you'll be saving money from day one, paying that thing off from day one. So we're talking about this, and I want you to call with any of your questions. We had the basic questions already. Can you dim LEDs? Yes, there are certain LEDs you can dim. What is the federal tax credit? It's 60 cents a foot, right?
Yep.
And then it's for all energy stuff, and you just have to find out for each job.
Yeah, if you're doing other energy things, you can get more.
Yeah,
but even if you just do the LED lighting, you can get 60 cents.
And then do you do exterior lighting was another question.
Absolutely.
Okay. We will continue with those questions, but first I want to go to the phones, and I want to take your calls. We mentioned, as we do on this show, we're not immune to life, right? And things happen. we have to talk about things. And this thing with Harvey Weinstein, we talk about rights and women's rights and workers' rights, and we talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I always say. Well, I'd like to know, why can something go on for 30 years? Why don't women report it sooner? It takes one person to kind of break the dam, then everyone comes forth. It happened with Cosby, it's happening with Harvey Weinstein. Now, I don't doubt that he's a scumbag and has done all this. You don't have that many people telling consistent stories, but why did it take so long? Apparently some investigative reporter was doing a report and got the information. And so I think once somebody knows other people were in on it, they might feel like, okay, I'm not the only one. Who knows?
And let's not forget, NBC squashed that story. That was supposed to run a while back.
Yeah, I want to find out about that. That's weird. But I want to ask Monica. She called in. And I asked people, why do women, mostly women, I mean victims, why do they hold back on coming forth? Monica, what's your insight?
Hi, Tom. I really enjoy your program, and thank you for bringing this issue up. I nearly leapt out of my car when I heard this being talked about, and with not any insight, and I'm so glad you were asking. I think one thing that you can do is just look at your fellow man and understand that they often think that they can simply take advantage. And not everybody, I'm not saying that, but that the opportunity is there and that they can just go for it.
So, no, but what I'm asking is, why do women not
I'm going to
come
tell
forward?
you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you one of my thoughts on it. We have become so desensitized to this approach that it almost is like somebody that has been abused for years and years, that you just expect that that's the way it is. And I'm saying that because of my own situation. And to respond and react quickly like probably a man would if he was approached like that, to respond like that without being able to decipher whether it is a kind, loving thing at that moment, that very, 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 and they're so sleek. They're so sleek, Tom. My cousin, in the way he touched me, you know what I mean?
So
and just
you mean like it's almost like it's so sleek, like you don't realize you're being violated right away? It's almost like it's a compliment, or like there's some kind of weird affection?
Yes. All of that.
It's not like that, just a violent, hey, you know, ripping a blouse. It's more sleazy, but it's I know what you're saying. It's kind of like, hey, is this really happening? In other words, is this right, or what's going on here? That kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. And a young girl.
But then once it happens, do you ruminate on it then, or do you come right out and think that was wrong? Or do you think, like you say, your cousin, when that happened to you, did you immediately that night think that shouldn't have happened, that's wrong?
No. I just swept it under my brain.
Okay.
And I've gotten so through the years,
I understand what you're saying.
I can tell who they are now.
Really?
Because it was another cousin, and
wait, you can tell a perpetrator? You can tell a perpetrator?
Yes, I can see them now coming.
Oh, I see. But when you look at people or to hear them talk, can you tell if they're that kind of person?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Because I was going to ask about Harvey Weinstein, but you probably haven't heard or seen a lot of them. But, you know, I don't know when I think, well, does it look like, I mean, I don't know what I expect to see. But I often wonder, is there a look people have? Is there a, I don't know.
I want you to start looking. And I don't know if you have daughters.
Yes, I have a daughter.
But also look at how men, boys, look at her. If it's a normal, you know, they're growing up kind of thing, and it's sweet, it's different.
Well,
you'll see it differently. And so I really do ask your men. I really, really do ask them to stay vigilant.
Okay. You know, vigilance is important, but I think Hollywood is overlooking stuff even now. What's really funny is they will overlook things. I've said this before, and honest to God, it's the truth. Politics trumps everything. Everything. People compromise their beliefs. They compromise themselves. They compromise for beliefs. They do for political beliefs, for politics. I have said, you know, you can be like, okay, let's take a black woman like Condoleezza Rice, a wonderful woman, smart, intelligent, but liberals, they would champion a black woman becoming, let's say, a Supreme Court justice. They wouldn't champion her. Why? She's not really a black woman. She's a conservative black woman. Now, just the opposite. Take a liberal black woman. Okay? Now, what about her being on the Supreme Court? Conservatives won't like her. Why? Because it has nothing to do with the black or the female. It has to do with politics. I have seen people change everything to fit into their politics. They will trump everything. You see it all the time. I mean, truly, people running for office talking about abortion. I don't want to get into an abortion discussion, but let's take abortion and religion. There are some religions, I don't care what you say, they are absolutely, positively against it. And then people, the candidates are of that faith running for office. Now, if you ask them what they believe about abortion, they will tell you what is politically correct or popular most of the time, not what their faith tells them. Why? Because politics trumped their faith. Politics trumps everything. And I think Harvey Weinstein was such a strong political figure. I mean, and I don't mean like in office, I mean politically strong.
Oh my goodness, he donated so much money.
And not just that, but politically strong with connections and influence, that they were willing to overlook things, not truly accept it. No one really wants to see someone raped or molested, but they overlook it because he is what he is. And conservatives do the same thing. Look, if a liberal was ever caught in a bus talking to Billy Bush about women and about grabbing them and about all of that, if ever a liberal was caught doing that, you know, conservatives would have a field day. But there were conservatives when it happened to Trump saying, oh, well, you know, it wasn't meant to be public, it's locker room talk, blah, blah, blah. Now, I am telling you that both parties do it, both agendas, liberal and conservative. I've never seen such craziness. They will bend their beliefs, they will bend their morality, they will bend everything for the sake of politics. It is such a strong force. So, let's go to the phones, 303-713-TALK. You got a question, Aaron. Go ahead. Aaron, about Google, what's happening? Aaron.
Hey, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. Yeah. Tell me about, ask you a question about Google. I'm curious.
What you were talking about for faceless corporations. What do you do when Google decides that your website is
dangerous?
Well,
I can't hear a word he's saying.
Aaron, hold on. Aaron, hold on. We have to reestablish here. Help him out. He's been holding. I'll go right to him, Suzanne. Talk to him. And if you have to, find out what his question is. I think he's talking about when Google flags your page or something. And I'm telling you, Google has the power to put you out of business. They really do. I mean, it's unbelievable. Okay, David, what's happening?
Hi, Tom. If you need to go buy a TV, what kind would you buy?
I personally would buy a Samsung.
Okay. That's it.
Now listen, I want to tell you something. Here's the great news about smart TVs. They're all basically the same right now. I know that's crazy. Now, you will find some other qualities. You know, but if you compare apples with apples, they're all going to be about the same, and you go by price.
Make sure you get a 4K, of course.
Yeah, you want a 4K. It's really important. You want a built-in. Well, they're usually all built-in electronic digital tuners. But they're not all digital tuners. You want also the smart part of it to be able to upgrade apps, add apps, and take away apps. You don't want a fixed ROM, a read-only memory that you can't, because what happened when Roku first came out, it was all fixed. You couldn't add or take away apps. So you plugged in Roku to your TV, and now you can't use it if you have an older one. You need that smart hub on your TV to be malleable, so you can take things off and put things on and change it. I mean, they might have some on there you can't take off, that's fine, but you got to be able to add apps to your smart TV.
Roku's got is built into some TVs now, and it's really cool.
Yeah, so David, I think that basically, if you look at your HD, what it is, whether 4K or 1080, whatever, compare that with the same on the other side, and then compare the smart hub, and then there are little things that are more preference than anything. For example, how many HDMI outputs do they have? How many actual cable inlets or outlets? You want to look at just convenience features, but as far as the technology, we can almost not go wrong anymore. I kind of like it. Brent Ivinson with Ideal Home Loans says, you know what? This is a great time to refinance. And I'll tell you, we're getting to a time now where you start doing it, and by the time you close, you might be able to even skip some payments. But anyway, Brent likes this time of year. Brent, what's happening during the holidays at Ideal Home Loans?
Well, everyone, you walk into the stores, the holidays are here. They're right around the corner. And I think what a lot of people jump to is, okay, the expense of the holidays and what's coming. And so this is a great time with rates being at some of the lowest levels they've been all year long to take stock, reorganize your finances, whether it's consolidating bills, paying off debt, getting rid of mortgage insurance, getting cash out for that home improvement project. It's a great time of year to do it. And in starting right now, you're absolutely right. Your loan will close in November, and that means no payments on your new loan until January. So a little bit of a reprieve during the holidays.
Yeah, that's great. Not only that, but when you do have your payments, they're going to be so much cheaper. Especially getting rid of private mortgage insurance if your house went up in value. Ideal Home Loans is committed to putting you into an ideal situation, or they won't do it. Let them review your needs or get it done quickly, and they put all their promises in writing. So no matter what program you're going with, they'll find the one best for you. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
A couple of slow spots and a crash to watch out for as the lunch hour drive gets underway. Look out for a wreck on the westbound side of I-70 approaching Vasquez. Backups already to 270. That's a tough stretch as it is. Westbound 270, of course, slow in that portion there on the approach to Vasquez, so watch out for delays there. I-25 looking good downtown. 225 on the approach to I-25, a little slow in that spot. For more real-time traffic updates on your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. The weather forecast, sunny and nice today with a high near 70. Right now, partly cloudy and 62. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
This report is brought to you by the Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer.
What I brought you can't eat.
My heart breaks for all the women who have suffered tremendous pain because of these unforgivable acts. So they're basically assuming he's guilty. Now, is that right? My God. I've chosen to leave my husband.
Like they did with Bill Cosby.
I mean, if the wife's leaving, there's got to be something there.
I'm just kidding. If there are this many people, I mean, they can't orchestrate that.
I don't think he's not. What did he say when he first got it? He says, hey, okay, I'll go and get on the NRA and do more stuff.
And the New Yorker said he raped Trump.
Well, you talking about Weinstein now? Or? Weinstein. Yeah, he said, well, back in the day, the rules were different.
Yeah, he said, I grew up in a different era.
Yeah, well, that's
any allegations of non-consent.
What eras were guys running around raping women okay?
Well, I mean, it's has further confirmed that there were never any acts of retaliation against any women for refusing his advances.
I think what's this?
Remember, Fox News went through this not long ago.
Yes.
And they Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie.
The way they got Bill O'Reilly, and all he did was suggest that. He didn't do it.
He wanted to sponge her down with a burrito. Or
Lufa.
No, there's a better name for it, though. What's that Indian food called? That's what
falafel.
A falafel. I kept calling it a falafel. He wanted to give her a sponge bath with a falafel. I said it about 10 times on air before I realized what the hell I was saying. I was thinking, man, that's strange, a falafel?
They're damn good. In the shower, they're damn good. You want to be like George,
I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Approval reverse mortgage. If you're looking for a mortgage and you're 62 or older, you can get a reverse mortgage, but it's not for everyone. It really isn't. That's where approval reverse mortgage comes in. I trust Joan Sullivan to make an analysis of your situation and determine if it's right for you. It can be a great retirement tool. It really can. You can just get a line of credit and let it sit there. And you know what? If you don't use it, it actually earns interest. You got to learn about this. Lump sums of money or lines of credit or monthly payments in your retirement. 303-771-3528, 771-3528, approvalreverse.com. We got lines open, 303-713-TALK. Mercedes is on the phone about a stolen car. Is it a stolen Mercedes?
No, it was a van.
A van. What happened?
Well, to make a long story short, my husband and I, we moved to Colorado last year, at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Because we were leaving our religion, and now we're shunned by our family. Otherwise, I'd ask them for help. But
wow. Where did you move from?
Texas.
Okay, so you were shunned, and you figured no reason to stick around.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We had come forward with some stuff in the religion, and
no, I understand. So you came here. And God punished you by having your car stolen.
Oh no, I don't.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding you, Mercedes. So what happened?
No. Well, we had a little Honda car.
Yeah.
And that was in July of this year, and it was stolen. And we have a 4-year-old daughter and a 6-month-old son. And so we were like, well, we need a car. We have to, she has dance class and other things. We have to take her to classes.
Right.
So we purchased a van through a friend of ours who flips cars. And he said, I've got this car in a title. You can pay me half down.
Where was your Honda stolen?
In Pueblo.
Okay.
Literally out of our apartment parking lot.
Okay.
So right after we had put the down payment on the van, the police called and said that they had found our Honda. We were like, you've got to be joking. So we went and got our car, and everything was gone out of it. They had replaced it with their stuff. Our car seats were gone. So we had to replace all that.
But your insurance your insurance paid those damages, right?
No.
You didn't have you didn't have comp and theft and collision and all that?
Mm-mm. No, okay. We just had basic liability.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so keep going. Then what? Then what?
So then we went and got the Honda. The police didn't even show up to show us where the car was. They just said, "Hey, it's on O'Neill Street."
Right, right.
So we show up on O'Neill Street.
We don't have to go through each and every detail. I just need to know what happened then.
Pointing that out.
Okay.
We got the car back.
Yeah.
And we sold it because we didn't want to be in possession of a car that had been stolen and easily broke into.
I got you.
We paid off the van. We made the last payment in September, and we got the title.
Wait.
And then
Just wait. Where did the van come? You were telling me all about a Honda, and then all of a sudden a van.
The day the Honda got stolen, we purchased a van.
Okay.
A friend of ours called and said, or a friend said, I've got this friend.
It doesn't matter.
Cars.
You bought a van. So the car, let me get this straight. The Honda was stolen in Pueblo, right out of the parking lot. You bought a van because you can't be without transportation, of course. You have 2 kids, 4 years old and 6 months old, and now you have a van. What did you pay for the van?
We paid $1,200 for it.
Oh, my God.
The last payment was paid in September.
Okay, paid off in September. Then what happened?
On Friday, this past Friday, my husband went to work with the van. We haven't been able to register it yet because we made the last payment on it with the paycheck. So he goes to work.
You are really, really, really living tightly, aren't you?
Yes. So he gets to work.
Yeah.
And he's in a meeting with the managers.
Okay.
And his security guard says, "Hey, there's a lady out here saying that your van is hers, and then it was reported stolen back in July."
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute. She was out there looking at that van and said, "That's my van." Did it turn out to be her van?
It did.
What?
The police showed up, and then they called, or the sheriff showed up, and then they called the city police.
Well, they didn't blame you, though. They knew you were innocent, right?
Yes. They know we're innocent. Well, we called the guy that had sold us the van.
Oh, that guy has to give your money back.
That's what we said.
Oh, absolutely. Did you buy him from a private owner or from a dealer?
A private owner.
Oh, that's going to be hard. He still owes you, but it's going to be more difficult than a dealer.
Yeah, so we're kind of lost.
Now this guy, this guy spent the money, obviously, right? I mean, where did he get that van? Did he say?
Well, according to the police, they know each other.
Who knows each other?
The lady who owns the van and the man who sold us the van.
So did they arrest that man?
No.
Because she won't press charges.
Report and that's it.
Wait a minute. They did what?
They just made a police report and that was it. They made my husband take out the car seats out of the car, and they handed the keys back to the woman, and we still have the title sitting in our house.
They can't do that. I mean,
they did though.
So how's that woman going to get the title back?
She doesn't have it. We still have it. They said our title is void now because she filed a theft charge on it, or a theft of a vehicle, before we'd even put the first payment on
Mark,
it.
this is ridiculous. Mercedes, I really feel badly for you. You've been totally ripped off. Not only did it get screwed once when your car was stolen and everything was taken out, then you're sold a stolen van. But first of all, $1,200. My God, it's amazing you got any vehicle for $1,200.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. We thought we got a great deal. This is, a little blessing for our family.
How did that woman happen on that van? That's amazing.
My husband works at a dispensary, and she was a customer, and apparently a week prior to saying that the van was hers, she had stopped by, and her husband had commented to the guards, "Hey, that looks like a van we sold."
We sold.
And then the following week,
see,
they came and said it was
do you realize, listen to this, man, they just okey-doked. Who knows if the van was really stolen?
Yep.
I mean, the friend of theirs is the one who had the van. They didn't even arrest him. No. You should say, I want to press charges against that guy for selling me a stolen van. I'm a victim of a crime. The things I hear about Pueblo police, I swear to God, I can't believe it. Mark, we've heard other things about Pueblo. Let's just put it this way, all right? Picture a constipated country. The suppository would go into Pueblo. This is the problem. This is a terrible, terrible place. And the police, I think, are corrupt. I really do. I mean, I've heard some stories. They won't even arrest the guy. Mercedes, why of all the places to move, why Pueblo?
Because it was the cheapest.
Oh.
It was what we could afford at the time. I mean, we're currently trying to get to the Springs area, and it's just been literally.
It truly is the armpit of the world down there.
I wasn't. It's worse than the armpit. At least listen. Let's see. Let's think. I want to call. Listen. I want you first before we do anything. I want you to I want you to go in and press charges. Press charges against this man. You say, I want to press charges. He stole, even if the other person doesn't want to do it, he sold a stolen car to me. I'm a victim. I am out $1,200. I want charges brought against him. It is a crime to sell a stolen vehicle. If in fact you should go to the district attorney's office in Pueblo. Isn't Pueblo a county as well? Isn't it Pueblo County? You really need to contact the district attorney's office and say, look, I need this. I need the charges brought. Because once charges are brought, we might be able to get an order of restitution or something. But you need to start there. And then if they turn you down for some reason, we can go just ape poop. I'm telling you. Because it's wrong. Mark, really, I bet if she walks Wasn't Pueblo the place where that girl was being harassed?
Sure was.
Yep.
A lot of things happen in Pueblo.
And wasn't Pueblo, the police basically are morons.
Well, a bunch of them. I mean, they've been fired and they've had to retire. There's been all kinds of issues down there.
Pueblo. It really is a stain. I wish we could get them off the map of Colorado and give them to another state. I don't know if you can make a weird property line like that.
Give them the New Mexico.
It would be really weird. Just make a whole, like, look at just the border right around Pueblo. But in any case, watch out if the country gets constipated. That's where it's going, right there. It's terrible. So, Mercedes, get back to us as soon as you know something. All right, got some more emails about LED lighting, front range LED. Joe, I don't even know what this question means. Front range LED lighting, by the way, can convert your business. Much of the expense is covered by utility companies, up to half, along with tax incentives. It's wonderful. And then you start saving from day one. You just save money, and it'll pay most cases, a year to a year and a half, you're paid off. And then you just pure savings. It can be financed. Joe, I don't know what it means, but do you have different temperature lighting? I don't know what that means. I'm thinking they mean the way the light appears. You have bright white, you have more of a yellow hue. You know what I mean by temperature?
That's exactly
In
it.
videography, we call that temperature, I think, of the light, and we white balance to get it. So what about that?
If you get... I'll geek out for just a minute.
Yeah, well, you are an engineer in physics. I mean, you are a brainiac, so go ahead.
Okay, so here's the deal. They rate it in temperature Kelvin.
Okay.
So if you were to take a chunk of metal and heat it up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin, then it would glow with a certain color.
Really? And so that's considered what then?
That would be 4,000 K.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But wait a minute. So 4,000 K, and then the hotter, the brighter, or not, or the different color?
Well, bright. A lot of people confuse that. Whiter does not mean brighter.
Okay.
Whiter is the color.
Okay.
And brighter is the number of lumens that it puts out.
Okay, so lumens and color. So, because I've seen lights, for example, that are yellowish almost.
Right, and those are like an incandescent bulb.
Yes.
The filament in an incandescent bulb is tungsten, usually. Yeah. And it glows at around 2,700 K, which is a little bit yellow looking. So you probably noticed back in the day. If you
it gets whiter the hotter?
Right. So like with
so a bright white, they call it. A bright white would be like 4,000 K or more?
More. Probably 5,000 K.
How far does it go before it's not light anymore?
Well, 6,000 K is pretty much as white.
That's what my headlights are.
And after you
6,000 K.
And after you get to after you get to 6,000 K, what is there?
They look kind of blue. The 6,000 K.
Yep, they sure do.
It's possible to have 7,000 K.
8,500. I've seen headlights.
Okay, so K is the temperature, which is actually the color.
Right.
The hue of the light.
Right.
And lumens is the brightness.
Right.
You see, people, you can brag and say, I heard that on Martino's show.
This one's a weird one. This emailer says, LED bulbs they bought at Costco, now he's getting RF interference in his house.
Well, let's talk about that coming up. Al Aramis wants to talk about free alignment with tire purchase. And Al, people think you got to go to these big boxes in order to save money. You have tremendous tire buying power, and people don't understand the deals. You have great deals. You did my tires.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, we know we have to be competitive, especially against these big boxes, because many times they're just offering stuff at cost. But one of the things we do, we can align the vehicle. There is no sense in putting tires on a car and not aligning it. If you want to premature wear those nice expensive tires, that's a problem. So what I'm doing for Martino listeners, not only do we offer all the great service and all the deals that we offer on the website, but we're going to do the tire installation. We're going to do lifetime rotation for no cost. We're going to do the roadside assistance comes with that purchase. And if you buy 4 tires and mention Martino, we're going to give you a free alignment. Not alignment check, the actual alignment. We will align.
Unbelievable. Really good.
Saving you some bucks right there. Most of the big boxes can't even align your car. How about that?
I think it's great. Let's talk then. If you need them, give them a call. 303-PRO-AUTO. 303-PRO-AUTO, 2 locations. Near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. The website is the same as the phone number, 303-PROAuto.com. Now, if you are lucky enough and smart enough and wonderful enough to have an invention, Maybe you wrote a story and need a copyright. That's not difficult. But there are ways to protect it even more so you can get damages if someone takes it. Or you want to do something and you think it's going to have a certain trademark. Well, Trenner Law is the one I recommend. Mark Trenner. He's local. He is personable. He will take care of you personally. He gives you his cell phone number, and it won't cost you thousands. And don't get ripped off with these 1-800 numbers, these invention submission places. Go to Mark Trenner. He's on my referral list. Mark Trenner. Trenner, T-R-E-N-N-E-R. Mark Trenner. 720-221-3708. 720-221-3708.
This report is
Brought to you by the Exogen Temple.
Very good.
The Highway Drive and the Mile High
Calvin. And so what is the metal they heat up? What is that metal? To get the Kelvin temperature, you said a piece of metal.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It's not a particular piece of metal.
It doesn't matter what type.
It
just needs to be something that can be heated to that temperature. It'll glow like that.
But so if you take a piece of this and a piece of that and heat them to 4,000 K, they both will have the same color.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't melt, it doesn't run away.
With a high of 73. Right now, mostly cloudy and 66 with the traffic and weather and heat flag. Raleigh House 50.
The Exogen Temple Scanner Thermometer is the top choice of doctors, nurses, and other health professionals nationwide. It can be yours, too. Now at your local Club Warehouse and other fine retailers today.
5.
Today is the day to break the stronghold, the stranglehold, that grip of addiction. Okay, I say this every day. You and your family, you don't need to lose another day. I'll tell you what, this is made for those who have addicts in their life. If you need help, the Raleigh House has established a special number to address your concerns. We're talking about alcohol, prescription drugs, hard illegal drugs. It could be caused by mental health problems, anxiety, depression, trauma, whatever it is. They're not alone. And you can help the addict in your life. If you're an addict, you can be helped by calling this number. No more excuses, no more denials. The Raleigh House has this program. It is a premier addiction recovery program, which is all evidence-based treatments designed to help get off of substances. And they have different treatment options. They can answer questions about all kinds of treatment. They can answer questions about insurance, about cost, about approaching the addict in your life. Call today for a free, no-obligation consultation. A fluorescent light fixture with 4 tubes in it, okay? You know, like what are they usually? What were these? 36-inch? What were they? Dan, do you remember, Deputy Dan, when we bought these?
4 foot.
Were they 4 foot? Yes. Okay, so let's just say a standard 4-foot fixture. What do they usually have? 3 or 4 bulbs? What are they usually?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Okay, let's say 4. What would something like that cost to replace, roughly? Just roughly, that one fixture, to take it out, rewire it for no ballast, and for and to put the LED in it.
Okay.
One fixture.
For one fixture.
And I understand there's a cost to coming, setting up, but I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about that one fixture if you had to do a cost per unit.
Well, if let's say there were 3 bulbs in it, it'd be $36 for the materials, and then it takes us 15 minutes or so to rewire the fixture.
That's way cheaper than I thought.
Yeah. So 15 minutes per fixture in labor, right?
Yeah, 15 or 20, depends on...
Let's just say 20.
Yeah.
So 3 per hour, right?
Yep.
So 3 per hour. So for 3, you have 3 per hour, and you would have 3 times 12 bulbs, right? No, excuse me. 3, not 3 times 12. 3 times 3.
36.
Right? So you'd have 36 bulbs at what, $9 a piece?
12.
$12 a piece. I'm sorry. $12 a piece. $12. So that's $4.32 plus labor, and labor would be an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing this roughly. So labor would be what, about? So bring it up to about $500.
So it's $100 for an hour.
So let's say 5.
Labor.
So I would say about. Let's just say. So that's 3 fixtures. I'm doing something here that's going to make some sense. 550 divided by 3. Okay. So you're talking about basically, if you broke it down, about $175 to $180 per fixture with no, it's cheaper than that.
Yeah, not that much.
Way cheaper. No, it's way cheaper. So you're talking roughly $12 a bulb and a labor unit of about 20 minutes per fixture.
So it's about $30 for labor and $36 for the bulbs. So you're looking at $66 a fixture.
Yeah, I see.
And now you're cutting the electricity in more than half.
No, plus
a little bit more than half.
up to 33%, up to $33 will be.
But let's extract that. So an 8,000 square foot mixed use warehouse.
Now, Facebook might be a great service, but it is the worst with customer service. You have no customer service at all. And this is the new trend in faceless corporations. But I found that Google is really accessible, more so than I ever thought. When I needed them for something, I literally called and got help.
I haven't been able to get help.
What kind of help do you need?
I have. Well, they have deemed my my business website as pure spam. So they have removed it from their search and
What is it?
The website is Coopers, and that's spelled Coupers products.
Yeah, by the way, that's the dumbest name you can have in the world. You should do a new one. I mean, no one will ever...
I actually have another website which is more to do with the actual product. That's just the...
Well, what I'm saying is to everyone out there, it doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't matter what your... Well, it does matter what your business name is, but if you already made the mistake and have a stupid business name, don't make a stupid website, because a website... No, I'm talking to other people. A website can be anything. It doesn't have to be correct. It doesn't have to be accurate. It can be anything. Like, for example, Front Range LED Lighting, I mean, you don't have to call it FrontRangeLEDlighting.com. Or if you have a product and your name is Cooper, it doesn't have to be Cooper's Products. People try like crazy to get their company name in their website, and as a result do stupid things like initials, ifbot.org, you know, or they either take a .org or a .net, or they do things like hyphens. And it just, or they put an Inc. on the end of it, like incorporated, like, so they can't get the real name, so they do that. It just, to me, is foolish. And I just wanted to say that in general, these are some of the mistakes we see in website design. So let's go back to you. So I looked at your site here, CoopersProducts.com. Nice looking website. Okay, this site did not give me a warning when I went to it at all.
No.
So why did you say... Why did you say...
They have deemed it as pure spam. That's their classification. So they have removed it from their search results. So
well, no, they didn't. I'm finding you here.
No. He's saying from the search results.
Mark, I just searched it, and I found them.
What'd you search?
It's under Google.
Ice Crusher. I found Cooper.
Yeah, if you put... is it under Google?
Yes, I'm going and finding, I went to your site to find out what products you have. Then I went and searched the products, and you came up. But let's put it this way. I don't want to argue with you. Yeah. Let's say that people get that warning. I've seen it before. Okay? What do you do about that warning? And Sean, are you there?
I'm here.
Sean is with Altitude SEO. Sean, I gave you a company one time that flashed a big warning when people tried to go to the site about it being possibly spam and all that. Why does that happen to sites?
Well, typically, so when you get the red screen that says, you know, this web page is suspected of phishing or whatever.
Or whatever it is. If you're flagged by Google, what do you do about it?
Well, you have to find out what the issue is that's causing it and then go remove it within the site. Then you submit what's called a re-inclusion request to get it placed back in.
And don't they look at those and take those seriously?
They do, yep.
And don't they correct it pretty quickly if you correct the problem?
Yeah, I mean, we typically see whether it's a hacked website or a site that's been spammed put back in within, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. So Altitude SEO is what you need to do. just have them take care of it for you. Aaron, I don't know if you heard it or not, but you were disconnected for a while.
When I Google them, I don't get them.
I get them right away.
Yeah, that's wild.
I get them right away. If I Google any of their products or Google them. But it doesn't matter. Let's just say he's right, and he is being spammed. I mean, excuse me, being marked. You can get that. You can request a re-inclusion. But, Sean, can you usually figure out what the offense was and correct it?
Yeah. It's usually something pretty simple. So. How
do you figure it out? Do you ask them?
No, you have to look at the code. So Google has all their specific requirements. I mean, for an example, I recently did one for a golf course, and the web developer that built the site had their development site up. So usually it's like an IP address / whatever the company name is, and that's the URL. So when they put the site live, all of the links still had the IP address in them. So Chrome thought it was phishing, and so did Google. So.
All right, so here's the deal. Here's what we're saying. You got to have someone who knows what they're doing, Aaron. Look at the code, find out where the mistake is, correct it, then ask for a re-inclusion. That's it. It's that simple. You don't have to go to Google to do that. You can do it through SEO, and Sean will do it on a one-time thing. You don't have to be a client, or you can be a client to keep it from happening. And Altitude SEO. Sean, give your number, please.
What was that? I'm sorry?
Give your number, please, for him.
Yeah, it's 303-500-5836.
Okay, so it is 303-500-5836. And he's on my referral list at referralist.com. And what do I have to do here? Bruiser, we got to tell you about Simply Floors, which is a good thing to tell you about. We're talking about LED lighting today. You want to talk about saving money? You can also save money with Simply Floors, 40 to 50%. I'm telling you, he has all of the major flooring companies, and he outsells on price all of the big boys. He just does it, and he's proven he can do it. And you know what? He's part of a buying group that makes it possible. He has laminates and luxury vinyl tile and hardwoods and waterproof carpeting. He has all of them. Go to simplyfloorsinc.com, simplyfloorsinc.com, and you can fill out a schedule and get your own appointment lined up at home. They do evenings, or you can go to the showroom, or both. Make an appointment and go to the showroom. The showroom is at 52nd and Ward. That's simplyfloorsinc.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
The Highway Drive in the Mile High City remains in really...
You're supposed to go lunch?
Boulevard, earlier wreck there, looks like it's been cleared out of the way. Still residual backups westbound 270.
Let's make sure people know that it's
typical area.
It'll come out for free and look.
High country, the I-70 corridor looking good from Genesee all the way up.
Yeah, let's throw the website out there too. FrontRangeLights.com.
70 tonight, clear skies, an overnight low of 45. Tomorrow a tad warm.
I would have BigLEDSavings.com, or I would have CutEnergyBills.com. That's what I would have in addition if you could get it. Try to find something that would be like really crazy. What am I doing? Yeah, that would be cool if you could find it. A lot of times you can find stuff like that. Cut your lighting, or cut lighting, or whatever, lighting bill, something.
Yeah. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has been around for many, many years, pioneering solutions, treatments, and in some cases cures for all of hearing ailments. Now, they have great hearing devices, hearing aids. They have some that can filter out tinnitus. They have some that can actually retrain your brain to ignore it because they mask it. But then they have other treatments for certain tinnitus that they can actually make go away permanently. And this treatment is called the Synchra. So whatever your hearing problem is, whether it's a loss of hearing or a tinnitus, whether it's one or both, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center can help you. All you have to do is call for an evaluation. They have free, no obligation trial periods for hearing aids. So that's wonderful. There is no risk whatsoever. They also have a special trial for the Synchra that you have to call about. And it's really something that you have to experience when you see the care that they take at Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. I know that hearing is very, very valuable to me, and I have been helped tremendously there. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163.
Affordable interest mortgage still has rates in the mid-threes. Do that upgrade that you've been putting off, or pay off
that high interest rate debt, or just get ready for the holidays. Purchase your next home with only 2% down and no mortgage insurance. Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We all know rates are going to go up, so why keep putting it off when you can borrow money in the threes? Do you know paying mortgage insurance is like adding 1.5% to your current rate without the tax deduction? Why? Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Call now and find out how to pay off your home faster, save over $100,000 in excess interest that you get to keep, all without changing one penny in your spending habits. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. VA loans to 100% with cash out in the low threes. We've been serving Colorado since 2001. Where it's all about you is not just our motto, it's who we are. Get the respect you deserve. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
Has the IRS emptied your bank account? Get your peace of mind back. Go to advancedtaxsolutions.com.
Sean Kennedy will do the media's job. We'll point out their...
How does that work on a transplant? So her insurance pays for the donor, huh? Everything?
Yeah, she must have very good insurance. Very good.
I would think Obamacare wouldn't pay for anything.
No, you're probably right. Well, they just take a chunk of liver and sew it into your existing...
40% of your liver, of the donor's liver, roughly.
Yep. But they just take it and stitch it into
I'm
your...
Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Andy, you have a question for Front Range LED Lighting? By the way, their website, FrontRangeLights.com. That's pretty straightforward. FrontRangeLights.com. And you do work the whole metro area too, Denver and Colorado Springs?
Yep.
Okay. Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, I was just calling up to ask about the LED
Yes, sir.
lighting.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I've got a small business. I use a bunch of T5 lighting at the moment, and got about 6,000 watts of it, and yeah, it adds up to probably around $600 a month in electrical. And so I'm kind of curious I don't know how easy that is to figure out how much I could save with LEDs if it was 100% switched over.
So how much of that do you think is for lighting? Do you have equipment or lots of computers or what?
I'd say, probably 95% of it's lighting. I own a small urban farm. I supply a lot of different specialty produce to restaurants along the Front Range.
And what kind of lighting do you have?
Just basic T5 lighting, 4-foot lamps.
Okay.
At the moment.
They're probably the high output T5s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are pretty efficient as conventional lighting goes, but you probably could save you could save about 50% on your lighting.
So his bill would possibly go down to only $300?
That's pretty likely.
Do you understand that? And really, there's no risk. What risk is there really?
Yeah, he comes out for free and will give you the exact breakdown.
And no matter what, you're going to save money. You will save money no matter what.
I love advertising stuff that people can't go wrong at.
That's Mark. You took the words out of my mouth. Seriously, I absolutely love it.
It's like when we talk about Freddie too.
I know
there's no negative.
That's exactly right. So Andy, give him a call, okay? Just give him a call, or look for him, FrontRangeLights.com, and it's 719-262-2451. What?
Yeah, and Andy, if you wanted to, a lot of people, when you say financing, they don't like the idea, but the truth is, right out of the gate,
you're saving money.
You can actually save money right out of the gate.
Even financing.
Nothing out of your pocket.
Right.
Nothing.
Jeffrey.
Zero.
What's your comment on LED conversions?
Hi, I haven't switched to LED yet, but like in 2007, I converted fluorescent fixtures in a similar fashion from the old big T12 bulbs to T8s, and the company came in without even shutting the power off, 2 Rubbermaid barrels on wheels, got under each one, pulled the ends off, new tombstones on the ends, new ballast, and did a similar type of conversion. I haven't replaced a single lamp in 7 years. In the last year, I started replacing lamps. I'm considering doing a conversion again.
Yeah.
But the time you save on having to replace lamps.
Yeah.
And the old systems had the lights when one goes out,
right.
The others would start flickering, and you'd have half your lights out.
I think it's a great idea, especially. And Jeff, I know Jeff is on the referral list. He's with City Lock. Yeah, it would do you well. Beverly, you have a comment on the Vegas shootings. I know we talked about it last week a bit. What's going on?
Yes, I've been very upset about several things and haven't been able to reach someone to really see this
What is
through. Mental health is not taken really, really seriously.
You're right.
We can look at Columbine. They were struggling with that situation. We can look at Sandy Hook. There was a struggle there with a family member. We can look at the shooting at
You're right.
Aurora.
You're right.
We can look at okay. So
what do you do?
This shooter at Las Vegas, and I'm sorry, names have gone over me.
Okay, hold on, though, because I don't want you to run out of time. Would you have Beverly come back? Hold on, Beverly. We'll make your point. I believe that we have to do more for mental health. You're right.
We all used to Beverly, and let's have her on tomorrow. She wants to advocate for mental health. Okay, let me go through this.
So the finance